Allá vamos. Bueno, 1 minuto 30. Veremos. ¿Qué creéis que nos deparará? Bueno, yo lo sé, pero quiero saber qué opináis vosotros. Yo tengo aquí algunos apuntes que me van a servir como referencia para ir contando cosas según lo vayan enseñando. ¿Es grabación? No. Ha dicho Singuru Morgan en Twitter hace un rato que no es en grabación. O sea, ellos están en directo enseñando las cosas. Today, growing together. Van a participar Singuru Graham, Singuru Morgan, Singuru Scott y guest, invitados. Agenda, introducción. Van a hablar de la actualización gratuita con Singuru Novan y guests. Y van a hablar de Growing Together Pack, de la expansión de Creciendo en Familia. Eso es, sube el volumen al directo, está a tope, ¿eh? Ahí está. Graham y Morgan. Lo escucho bajo. ¿Vosotros? Está a tope el audio ya, ¿eh? Van a ser las cosas de la ACTU. Atención, ¿eh? 2 horas ha dicho, sí. Es que os lo he dicho yo, que iba a ser largo. Esa es Elvira. Hola, Felicity. 2 horas porque tiene mucho que enseñar. Tiene la UI como muy grande, ¿verdad? Porque está a tope de calidad, míralo. ¡Oh! Todo eso va a venir en la ACTU. ¡Mira las nuevas cunitas! ¡Por fin, Julia! Toallitas, estoy viendo por ahí. Oh, lamparitas, alfombras, peluches, las llamas gigantes esas. Mira, como pañales, cambiadores. Libros infantiles, ok. ¿Y lo de abajo qué son? Para cámara, que no veo. Morgan, para. Felicity, muchas gracias.
Gracias por existir, Mario. Eres increíble y maravilloso.
Tú sí, gracias, Felicity. Son como, pues, polvitos de talco, toallitas, cepillitos. Esos son juguetes. Oye, pues sí que va a haber cositas nuevas, ¿no? Todo esto el ACTU gratis, ¿eh? Alfombritas. A ver. Las nuevas cunitas me gustan.
Oh, yeah. So these are our new playpens here.
¡Hala! Puedes hacer tu propio corrito. Son vallas. Son vallas, así como rollo infantiles para hacer tu propio corrito, ¿sabes? Y lo puedes bloquear para los bebés. Puede entrar todo el mundo menos los bebés, o sea, bueno, entrar o salir en este caso. Guay, pues vienen cositas nuevas. Aquí están más cosas nuevas. Cunas, nuevas cunas en Berlín.
El reto de los 100 bebés con esta expansión. Fantasía.
Locura, en Berlín, muchas gracias. Las nuevas cunas, mijos. Estas son las nuevas cunas para los nuevos bebés, ¿vale? Las cunas que hemos visto abajo son para los bebés recién nacidos que hemos tenido siempre, ¿vale? ¿Ves? Lo puedes actualizar y convertir en una cuna. ¿Has visto la camita? ¿Has visto la camita? Y se pueden poner inventario, ok. Eso está guay, ¿eh? Y las camitas, he visto, se pueden convertir en cunas. O sea, las cunas ahora de ese tipo son tanto para los bebés como para los infantes. Los infantes pueden dormir en una cama o dormir en una cuna. Las dos. Siento que está alto, no sé vosotros. Esto está muy guay, sí. Atención a esto. No se ve porque lo están tapando, pero pueden tener un nuevo... Hay una nueva manera de tener bebés. Tener un bebé por la ciencia. Por la ciencia. Un nuevo tipo de tener un bebé. Lo subo, que os estáis quejando el audio. Está muy fuerte, ¿eh? Muy lumpino, sí señora, Bruji, sí señora. Sí señora. Mola esto, ¿eh? Dice, para tener... No hace falta tener relación romántica, está diciendo Graham, para tener un bebé a través de la ciencia con otro sim. Es como fecundación in vitro, algo así, sí. Bebé por la ciencia, digamos. Pero ha dicho según Graham que no necesitas tener un bebé por la ciencia. Y han seleccionado a Bella como madre de ese bebé. No Bon Pancakes, que sería el marido de Lisa. Mauri Bea. Ahí te sale, ¿tener un bebé por la ciencia? Sí. Elisa paga y directamente se va a traer ese bebé. Elisa está teniendo un bebé. Me hubiera gustado tener el proceso como de embarazo aquí, pero no, directamente tú vas y tienes un bebé de una. Rollo inseminación artificial, sí, sí, exacto, tapita, sí, 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 así es. Eso está guay, ¿eh? Y lo tenemos en un nuevo tipo de cuna, ha dicho. Mira qué cute. Aquí queda confirmado que los nuevos recién nacidos siguen existiendo, como veis. Ahí están. Atención. Vale, está diciendo que ahora los recién nacidos tienen un nuevo rango diferente de colores de piel. Porque antes siempre era oscuro claro, ahora no. Ahora no. Y como veis, la cara del recién nacido es diferente, la han modificado. Se ve diferente, sí, se ve diferente. La han cambiado. Mirad esto. Tan bello, está sonriendo. Sí, mírale. No es un cambio muy grande, pero sí que veis la cara diferente, lo veis, ¿no? Está hablando Singuru Lakshmi. La han bajado el audio, gracias. ¡Ay, qué carita, mira!
And also a caregiver will automatically respond when they are crying. If you have a weather, we've added compatibility so that newborns will react to being outside in storms or extreme temperatures. They'll cry and let you know they're unhappy about that.
Qué mono.
ACTU interaction is a little easier to complete as well, and it now allows you to show a toddler and a sibling.
Han mejorado también los nuevos bebés, o sea, los bebés, que era muy necesario, ¿eh? Automatically reaction to cry, sí. Van a reaccionar al llanto del bebé. Eso es.
Into an infant. Since this stage is now just covering the very beginning of life, we shortened that time a little bit. But the other ages have been extended to make sure your Sims can see their little ones grow up and maybe even have children of their own.
No más bebés llorando solos.
Super cute. But as adorable as this newborn is, we really need an infant.
Se ve más adorable, ¿no?
Yes, we do. Okay, so let's go ahead and
mirar, nueva sección Baby Care. ¿Lo habéis visto? ¿Lo habéis visto? Tenemos una nueva sección de cuidado para los bebés, en el que me ha parecido ver un nuevo para cambiarles la ropa.
And I love that Sim
Mira,
putting
va a
about
crecer.
6
Ahí
pictures
está.
of it now.
Va a
I recognize the
crecer.
importance
Y
of
aquí
this.
tenemos
So we could randomize
en los nuevos
traits.
bebés.
There are actually traits
Estos van a
of
ser sus
infants.
rasgos.
6 of them.
6 of them.
Cautivo,
And they
cautivo.
range from sort of a
Cautious,
sunny, happy,
sensitive,
just
calm,
generally
intense, weekly
easier
y
infant
shiny.
to intense, where they have big
Nuevos
emotions and they're
rasgos.
gonna be a
Son
lot more of
6,
a
no están mal.
challenge
No,
to
no.
play with.
No está mal, está
10
bien.
sounds like a handful for our stream.
Está bien, está
Maybe
bien.
go back over to Sunny Morgan.
No. We're gonna go with
Cautivo será, es
cautious
como
today. These Sims appreciate the familiar, but are slow to warm up
como
to
más familiar, ¿no?
expectation and
Algo
Sims,
así.
because I think we're gonna be able to show something cool specifically with that one during the live stream.
Yeah, let's do it.
We don't want to make it too easy.
Mira la
Now, of
nubecita.
course, you get to not only select these traits when you're with everything.
Mira, aquí nos van a enseñar la ropita del nuevo bebés.
Accessories, clothing,
Y cómo se ven en el cast, ¿no?
And as Morgan clicks through some of our different clothing options right now,
Hasta ellos utilizan el WeCheats. No es el WeCheats, Lena. Son sus códigos de... y sus herramientas de desarrollo. Que se parece al WeCheats, pero no es igual.
Everybody, we wanted to give players really cute basics that they could mix and match.
Claro,
We have a
luego
bunch
cambió
of
eso.
onesies, leggings and tops. We have beautiful
Mira,
bottoms, super cute.
como de pijamita de peluche.
Overalls? Yeah, the overalls are really cute, and like that overall dress. We also have
Hay
some
algunos, está enseñando los nuevos. Creo que hay algunos que ya están en infantes, como el primero.
suit, like it keeps your baby warm. We also have a
Qué abrigadito, ¿no?
bear one. I think that's also my favorite. It's like that really fuzzy,
Ay,
Sherpa material.
mira, se da la
Super
vueltecita.
cute.
Qué
And
cute.
then also, like, if, you know, it's hot weather and you don't want to have much clothes on your baby, we also have cute baby diapers. And then
Mira qué mono la piel. O sea,
yeah, we have
mirar
a
la
bunch of
skin.
those patterns.
Parece CC, está
And
muy
then
guay.
To rotate to show it.
Yeah. And for more storytelling options, we also have
Super cute.
baby accessories. We did some really cute baby glasses.
Maybe I'll do it
Yay,
on
they're
a
so
different
cute.
outfit so we can see it better.
Mirar ahí con sus
And
gafitas
then we
así,
also
por aquí
added,
detrás.
baby helmets.
Tan cute, me encanta.
And this was something brand new to me. I'm
Este
not a parent
gorrito,
myself,
sombrerito, es de estos de recién nacido, como para dar
but
forma a la
this is
cabecita o algo así, ¿no?
like
Supongo.
the aviator goggles, my absolute favorite.
Mira qué mono.
Yeah, the aviator one is also my favorite.
Okay.
Did you want to show off some hair now?
Yeah, definitely. Let's look at some of the new hairs. I'll just
Yeah,
remove any
so
of the
for
filters.
Me encanta.
the baby hairs, we wanted to give people players lots of options. So we have some that are like, you know, some babies have lots of hair, and then some babies don't have as much hair, and we just wanted to give the players those kinds of options.
A ver.
I think the one, I think it's the
El
second
pelito,
one
los
from the
baby
bottom,
hairs.
to the left of, or right to the, yeah,
Por
that
favor,
one.
mira.
That one we're calling like the wispy one because that was like one of the harder ones
Qué
for us to
mono.
achieve because we're truly trying to get like a new painting style.
Qué
So hopefully that
mono.
comes off really well as a newborn hair for you guys.
Super cute.
Yeah.
And of
and
course,
then,
Super cute.
go ahead,
oh,
Steph.
oh, you can go ahead.
Well, was there more that you were going to want to share? Because I was going to move over to some of our...
Aquí están los 3 tipos de dientes.
Oh yeah, I just wanted, that's what I was
Sin
gonna ask if you
dientes
wanted to go ahead
completamente,
and
con los de
talk
arriba,
about
con los de abajo.
Yeah, for sure. So
Vale,
let's
aquí están
bring some NUEVO
los detalles de la
talk a
piel,
little
las
bit
marquitas de
about our new
nacimiento.
Skin details and stork bites for infants and some for
Tanto en la cara como en el cuerpo habrá.
Sure. Hello. So yeah, you can apply
Ahora está
stork
hablando
bites,
sin
which are
gurú nova.
birthmarks specifically for infants in CAS. And as they age up, they will fade away, similar to
¡Qué
how stork
mono!
bites work for infants in real life. But you can make use of the new
Ahí están
skin
las marquitas
details
de la
we're
piel,
offering in later ages as well.
del cuerpo.
Coming to base game, we've added birthmarks across the ages.
Hay unas
in
cuantas,
CAS,
sí, sí.
each with a set of swatches to kind of
Ay, no puedo con las arruguitas de la piel, tan
skin
cute.
tones and ensure that they
encanta.
show up visibly and look natural. And we've also, as
Está
you've
diciendo que
seen
esos también van a estar
in the
disponibles
cast
para los
preview,
adultos,
maybe,
obviamente. Ahí
added
está.
a bunch of different additional skin details like stretch marks.
Tanto las de la
and
cara
a
como las del
C-section
cuerpo.
scar to kind of help you create more realistic Sims as they move
Las
through different
estrías.
stages in their life and represent, you know, the changes that
Ahí están.
a Sim's body might go through as they age. And
Eso está muy guay,
raise a
está muy
family
guay.
and things
Y
like
la
that.
cicatriz de embarazada que nos enseñaron en Twitter el otro día. A ver si la pone. Bueno, de la cesárea, vaya.
Yeah, and of course, variants across the board for each of those skin details, so look on that wide range of skin tones as well.
I think there's one more thing before we hop out of cast we were wanting to show off today.
Las
and
manchas
that
las
is
exclusivas
that
del pack.
under
No,
the
están
view choice settings,
mostrando
we
ahora
actually
todo lo
also
de la
added a
ACTU.
new option for can this sim produce milk. So that should be able
¿Cómo?
to help create
Nueva opción en el
variety
cast
of
de
sims.
esta sim
Yeah,
puede producir
additional storytelling
leche.
options, especially,
Leche materna.
pregnancy and
Hay una nueva opción en el cast. ¿Habéis visto?
Okay, so let's hop
Eso
into
está
some
guay,
Mprin's gameplay and see
Yeah.
them in games.
Eso está guay.
Let's go.
Little, what
Para
was
que
it,
pueda dar
Amelia?
el pecho o
Yeah,
no
little Amelia pancakes.
a los babies. Eso está muy guay.
All right, well, let's start with a bath. Let's just show off some of these cute new things you're going to be doing with your infants. Maybe, let's give her a bubble bath. It's pretty cute.
A ver, que le va a dar un baño de burbujas.
That you're going to have for taking care of your infant. And infants have all of the needs that you've come to expect from a sim. So, we're taking care of their hygiene
A ver,
here,
¿cómo?
but different options for sleep. for
Ay, tiene
hunger,
una sillita
for
especial.
attention. And we'll see all of those as we go through and play a little today. But you'll
Por Dios,
see
se
all the
abulta más la
cute
esponja que la cabeza de la niña, por favor.
She's testing the temperature of the water,
Ay, cómo le echa la
putting
agüita
some
así en la
little
cabeza.
bubbles on Amelia's head, playing with the rubber ducky.
¡Qué mono!
Just perfectly adorable stuff.
Super cute.
She seems like a pretty good mom. I think there's something
Qué
that we did
mono,
with
super
that
cute.
where, with attachment. Would you like to tell us a little bit about that, Lakshmi?
Me
Yeah,
gusta, es
sure.
súper chulo, ¿eh?
Both our newborns and infants are sort of trying to gauge if the world is a place where they are safe. If they're left crying or with low needs, they'll be feeling neglected. But when
Está hablando sin
Sims are
gurú
caring for
Lakshmi.
them, and spending time with them, then they form this good sense of attachment. To help understand how this
Voy a
attachment
quitar
is
esto para que
developing,
podáis
their
verlos.
mood lists
Ahí.
will let you know how cared for your infant is feeling.
Vale,
You might
Baby
see one on
care.
her now, I'm not sure, since she just
Y ahí
got
tenemos
one.
todas las opciones para poder
Love
cuidar
on
del
infant.
bebé.
Yeah, so she got some care and so she's feeling
Se
well
siente
cared for.
cuidado, bubble bath, tiene sus
So
propios
when,
estados de
a
humor y
couple
demás.
examples are when an infant's got a good level attachment, then they won't feel neglected when they're crying.
¿Sale ahí preferencia de alimento o alimentación?
Hasn't arrived in the past, then their attachment
No quiere.
is low, and so they'll feel extra sad when their cries are going unanswered. Also, as we just saw, when the sim is caring for
Es verdad, la nueva tipo de comida, el nuevo tipo de comida.
How secure the infant is feeling.
Hoy, por favor, me
Then
encanta.
if you build attachment,
Hummus,
as a newborn
cereales,
we have
puré de
three reward
patata.
traits that can be earned when the sim ages up. There's happy infant for a sim that formed a good bond and therefore trusts that sims have good intentions. And then top notch if they were very well cared
le va a dar
for,
otra
which
vez
also means
el
they
biberón, a
trust
ver.
their caregivers specifically. And then if you intentionally push to the other end, there's also an
monos.
unhappy infant, which will make them basically more skeptical of sims. They have a hard time trusting the intentions of those sims.
I love that it tells that story of like care and attachment from early in life, and then
Ay, mira, pa' que
eructe.
eructe. Qué mono.
Now, Morgan, I saw you clicking on the high chair a second ago, and I bet a lot of people in our chat were just scrolling. Oh no, not the high chair, anything but the high chair. We all know about the high chair, our longtime veterans.
A ver,
A lot
que
of them
le va a
will
dar.
know it's one of those tricky objects.
Oye, ¿cuántas
It
comidas
was
había?
always
No
a
me ha dado
little
tiempo, hay unas
difficult to play
cuantas, ¿eh?
with your toddlers, but fear not, we've made a number of quality of
A ver.
life improvements to the high chair. So some of those issues you experienced in the past where a toddler would just constantly
Es
want
como un
to get
potito,
in and
¿no?
out of the high chair and have trouble
El
finding
avión.
them in it. That should be much better now. And it's not just for
Ay.
toddlers. Of course, all those improvements are
El
there for infants as
potito.
well, so that you get to really enjoy that object and some of the new games.
El bebé será jugable, sí.
Around it.
Es jugable.
What are you trying right now, Morgan?
We're trying mashed peas right now. So infants always they try their new food, can't because they're currently trying it, but there's a selection of different baby foods you can try with your
Qué cute.
infants.
Es para ver si le
And
gusta,
they'll
sí,
either
sí.
be unsure, they'll like it, they'll love it,
De
or
hecho,
they'll
ahí
dislike it.
sale,
And they
el
react
bebé va a tener
accordingly.
preferencias de
They'll
lo que le
get to
gusta y
watch
lo
them
que
as
no le
they,
gusta,
figure out what
¿sabes?
they like and they
En
don't.
cuanto al...
You might notice that she was unsure about Masterpiece.
¿Ves?
That's one of those ways
Necesita
that,
explorarlo de
Amelia's
nuevo, en
trait
plan,
here,
volverlo a
that she's
comer.
cautious is going to come into play because she's going to be less certain if she likes food more often than other infants are. So just there's a lot of little things like that within those
Qué
traits
cute.
packed into how they behave differently. That's cute.
And I'll give another tip to the non-parents out there, I guess. Another thing I learned while working on this update is that exploring foods in the high chair, that's really about like
Exploring food.
establishing those moments of care and attention with parents. It's about trying new things and exploring the world around them and less about satisfying hunger.
Vale, esas alfombritas que veis en el suelo son para dejar a los bebés ahí.
We added a nice new
Mira.
option around that as well, because either bottle feeding or breastfeeding, that's the best way to go about satisfying an infant's hunger. Now, previously you had to
Baby
select
care.
that each time, whichever option it was you preferred.
Opciones.
But now you
Prefiere
can
el
designate
biberón
the
y
preference
prefiere
for your infant,
el pecho.
and Sims will automatically do that when they're playing autonomously.
Va a tener sus
or,
propias preferencias.
when you use or direct them to help feed an infant.
Qué
Here, little
cute.
Amelia, she's found her way over to the toys in the living room. And of course, she's playing with some of the building blocks, but I see some of her new sensory toys.
Está
behind her as
triste.
well.
¿Qué le pasa?
Play with one of those while we wait for her brother to come down here.
Venga,
And,
niño.
what's Iggy coming over to try doing?
He was going to try to entertain her.
Maybe we could play a little peekaboo with Amelia. I
Peekaboo.
think that's my favorite new interaction. They're
Eso no-
super cute when
dice
they
que
do
es
it.
su favorita interacción nueva, pero ¿qué es
Sweet,
Peekaboo?
I think he got bored because she was playing other games. She was
Play
ignoring him.
Peekaboo. Ah, en plan
Oh, she
cucutras.
really
Eso es.
Well, she is really tired. It is time
El
for her to
cucutras.
have a nap.
Okay, well maybe we give her a rest.
Yeah. Let's go ahead
Qué
and take
bonito.
her on upstairs to her crib. And put her
Vale.
to bed here.
A ver cómo funcionan.
Now,
Ay,
this
mira,
crib
tiene un
looks a little
móvil.
bit different than
La
the ones that
cuna.
we saw earlier when we were looking at all the cribs.
Mhm.
You've added an upgrade to this one, haven't you, Morgan?
Yep. It's
Upgrade.
been upgraded to have a little oh no, I always want to call them carousels. They're not carousels.
Yeah,
Mobiles.
mobiles.
Las
Yeah.
cunas
Little
son
mobile that,
actualizables,
and there's two options. There's
upgradeables.
the space one and then this bird one, which is my favorite. So,
A ver.
oh, she might be wanting to. Oh, she's crying.
A cantarles nanas.
We
Sí, se
waited a
pueden
little
cantar,
too
se le
long
puede
to put her
cantar
to bed, and now
nanas.
she's grumpy.
Yeah.
Salía la opción.
So we're gonna go on
ver.
upstairs. And the reason why we're using the one with the carousel, we have the one downstairs that's portable, but you have to soothe them to sleep sometimes to help them go to sleep, especially if they're like a wiggly infant or something.
Yep.
So you soothe them, you can kiss them to get them to go to sleep a little better. But if you have this, you can actually just play
Play
a
lullaby.
and that's going
Para
to
que
help them.
funcione el móvil, le puedes cantar
Go
una
to sleep
nana.
a little bit easier.
¿Ves?
So soothing.
Yep. And she fell right asleep.
Tiene su
I might
propia
need a little
musiquita.
nap
¡Ay, qué
myself, Morgan. It
bonito!
might
Eso
be
me
time for me to
encanta.
get ready to bounce out of the stream.
Yeah. I think we have
¡Qué
all of
bonito!
the
Yeah, so before I go, I think, of course, we're looking at just our base game update.
Inalámbrico y todo,
We're only
cuidadito.
playing with
Esto
base
es
game.
el futuro.
We've got a
Está,
whole
el futuro es
wealth of
hoy.
packs out there that I'm sure many of you have. And so we added a lot of content for infants across some of those packs as well. So when I think about expansion packs, like of course with cats and dogs, your infants are going to be able to pet the dog. That's always the most important question to the internet, right?
Kiss goodnight, dar un
Or
beso
if
de
you have a
buenas
game
noches.
pack,
A
like,
ver.
say, parenthood. That's something that should really naturally integrate with an experience with infants, and it absolutely will. So as you're developing your parenting skill, you're going to find new ways to provide better care for your infants. And even with some of our sub packs,
Ay.
like nifty knitting, for
Está
example,
gomidita.
there's a bunch of onesies that you can knit for your infants. So definitely, you know, try it out. With some
Despertar,
different
mirar a
packs out there
Amelia.
and see what you can discover. I
En
think
plan,
they're
mirar cómo
really
duerme, ¿no?
nice part
En plan,
of the
oh, qué
overall
cute,
Sims
cómo
4
duerme.
experience. Cool.
Well, thanks for joining today.
Yeah, for sure. I'm really happy to give this detailed
Playful.
look at
Oh, so
Sims.
cute.
Now, of course, this is coming to all players, all
Se siente
platforms
bendecida.
on March 14th. So excited for you to get your hands on it. And we're going to take a really short break. Don't go anywhere because as fun as this was, you're about to see all of the great content coming with The Sims 4.
Una mantica para la
the newest
criatura.
expansion pack. I myself am going to say goodbye.
Bueno, por lo menos no son-
Morgan's going to stay here with you. But I'm going to tag in Grimsby.
Por lo menos no son gusanos como los Sims 3, digo.
To show off all the...
What the fuck?
Hello.
Welcome back.
¿Por qué van
I'm very
disfrazados?
excited to meet you.
Hola.
I
Hola.
don't know if I just want to be clear. This is not normally what I dress like to come into work. I do not develop The Sims 4 in this all the time, but
I do.
it's a special. Yes, Morgan does.
Leo Lambert
But it's a
Jackson.
special occasion.
Se llama el
So we
niño
thought
ese.
We get dressed up a little bit.
He's a sloth.
I'm a sloth,
If you were unsure.
and we're here to talk about The Sims 4 growing together.
As was announced earlier, this is Grimsby Rudoy.
What
Oh
the
yes,
fuck?
hello.
Pero qué cosa
See,
más
Bruno
random, por
Morgan still
favor.
with us. And if you hear Morgan,
Son furros, o
saying
sea,
Scott,
¿qué está
that's also me.
pasando,
My
por
name is
favor?
Scott.
Oh, yeah.
Online, if you follow me on Twitter, I
Eh,
go by Grimsby.
céntrense, por
For
favor.
reasons that we're not going to get into here. But yeah, I was the.
Tiene una mancha de forma corazón, es
on,
verdad.
Sims 4
Qué
Growing
cute.
Together.
Vale, es la nueva ropa para los nuevos bebés de la expansión.
Every Sim family, all the different kinds of families we know you're making.
Por favor.
playing with,
¡Ay, el
and
pa- es un
explore
best de
the
pato!
unique ways in which they may interact.
¿Qué me
with each
dices?
other. And we're gonna see
Infante?
examples of them in the stream today, but I'm gonna talk about kind of what we were trying to hit with growing together. And the first one, we started off with a core of kind of making sure that family matters, right? That when you
Qué
are
bonito.
interacting with family members,
El
that it feels
pollito.
different than when you are interacting with a random sim walking down the sidewalk. So whether that is your close family, whether that is extended family, whether you have family kind
Ah,
of
este es bonito
across
también, ¿eh?
multiple households, right, living in different lots, all those different makeups and of family, that it feels special and meaningful to be interacting between family members. And then kind of going out beyond that, the next thing we looked at
Qué
was
voz tiene
really
este hombre, ¿no?
deepening
Tan-
and
tan
making
de
more
locutor.
meaningful all of our relationships across the game. Obviously, our family relationships had to feel
Mira,
different, had
los
to feel special.
calcetinitos
But
de
when we
animales.
were looking at that, and we're going to talk about some of these features that I'm really excited about for growing together that do this, we wanted to make all of our relationships deeper and make them more meaningful so that when you have two Sims talking to each other, conversing, having these social interactions, that they really do feel like they are
El
two,
collar.
individual Sims with unique kind of
Oye, ese pelito mola un montón,
social
El pelo.
preferences and
Qué bonito.
compatibility, and making it so that it doesn't feel like any two Sims conversing at any time are like
Está hablando
any other
mucho
Sims,
del
that
impacto que
those
tienen las
conversations
conversaciones
are
nuevas
really
entre los
fun.
Sims, la personalidad, todo eso.
Um,
Que nos lo van a
And then
enseñar
once we
ahora.
did that, the thing that I really enjoy is kind of like the icing on the cake for growing together is we really wanted to provide a sense of the drama of life.
Los pijamas de la
that
discordia,
we
¿los
were
habéis visto ahí?
excited about when we looked at the lifetimes of our Sims and how to make them interesting throughout.
Qué
And
mono.
here we kind of did it in two ways. We made features where
Qué
players
mono.
are able to really start off
Dice Simmer Shishi que le encanta mucho lo que está diciendo, se enfoca mucho en la familia, es algo que falta al juego ahora mismo, sí.
interesting ways to relate to each other, but also
Sí,
be able
de eso
to
trata la
trigger
expansión, ¿no?
those
De
moments in their story.
de crecer en familia y
But we
demás.
also had the game be a little more reactive. We have some
Ahora, mira el
features
jersey,
in
mira la
Growing Together that
textura.
I think are really fun, that really
Qué chulo.
I think of as sort of like story
O sea,
prompts for
ese
your Sims
pelo
that
mola
give
mucho,
them
¿eh?
an opportunity to
Ese.
maybe take a little detour on the story that you had in mind for them, and gives you as the player still control to kind of say yes or
Qué
no
bonito.
to that story prompt, but might take you in a direction that kind of throws a little bit of extra drama in their life.
¡Hala,
that I
este
think
qué
is really
chulo!
fun and makes it
Eso es muy ochentero,
their lifetimes feel
Toda la
full
noche
and
entera.
meaningful.
Me encanta.
So yeah, I mean, thank you for indulging me. That was a little bit kind of like designy. We didn't get to see any of that yet, but we're gonna see examples of all of that. I
Y
think.
esto,
And that was really
chulísimo.
what we wanted to do with growing together. And I would like to think that we succeeded. But we can look at some of their outfits now first.
Oye,
and
me
then I'll
está
be really
molando,
excited once
¿eh?
we get into live mode to kind of tie back to a lot of those things that I was
El
talking
cast,
about.
por lo
There's a lot
menos.
to cover today, like a lot, as you could tell.
Yes. I'm covering as much of my body as I can.
La ropa es
It's
muy
gonna get
chula,
really
sí, sí.
hot. I'm gonna
Sí,
say
sí,
it right
Blanca.
now. I'm already sweating a little bit and regretting my choices, but we got a couple hours to go. It's fine.
Está muy
It's
guay,
fine.
¿eh?
It'll be fine.
Regretting anything. Well, would you like to talk to us?
La ropita mola.
We've been looking at some outfit things here. Would you like to tell us about the pack clothing here and maybe point out some of your favorite pieces we can look at?
Yeah. Hello, everybody.
Nicole, está
as
hablando
you can
Nicole
see
ahora.
here, we are trying to include clothing and accessories for all ages. Elders, adults, children, toddler, and of course more cats for infants. So for the clothing style we have for this pack, you will find urban, casual, everyday wear.
El pañuelito de la
And we
abuela
find vintage style.
es
The
genial.
modern design with vintage aesthetic for early
Es
spring and
un
summer
peinado
clothing.
nuevo, está muy guay.
And I think
Mama
there's one
Amber
of my
Jackson se llama esta,
favorite,
sí.
if you go to the female top, there's a mohair cardigan with a corset underneath. Yeah, this one is one of my favorite. We include the plaid and strap pattern.
Mirar lo que
option
sale aquí.
With some vintage color and pastel.
Voy a tapar a los
colors,
ingurus un
very,
momento, ¿eh?
spring vibe.
Mirar aquí.
That which you
Estos
can
tres
match with some
puntitos.
other sets with other family members clothing.
¿Qué diablos será eso?
Like,
¿Lo habéis visto,
if
no?
you go- yeah,
A ver si
this
nos lo
color,
enseñan.
if
Espera,
you
que me
choose
voy a poner
body.
aquí para no molestar
Oh
ahora
yeah,
en
this
Luego
one
me
you can
cambio.
match it together.
Los
So
tres
we
puntitos,
include
eso
some,
será algo nuevo
pattern
seguro.
options that families members clothing they can coordinate each other.
And then here's the full body one you were talking about.
Yeah.
Lo tienen los adultos, sí, ¿qué será?
That's really cute. I love the idea of just kind of having matching family outfit.
Yeah.
Qué bonita la ropa, ¿eh?
Do you have any favorite outfits?
Do I have any favorite outfits? I don't know if you can tell. I'm a fan of costumes, so I like the full body costumes. There's one for, is it for the infants that I'm
Yeah.
thinking of? That is the, it's like the duck.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ah,
So that's
el
that's
de
one of my
patito.
favorites. I love the duck. I love being able to dress
Me
up
gusta,
your infants like little animals. I did that as a parent. I'm sure all parents do. I think you legally have to take a picture of your infant when it is at the age where you can put
La
them in a
ropa
bunch of these outfits and then make
bastante
sure that they're
variada,
family.
sí, la verdad, ¿eh?
The other one that I also really enjoy is I think
Me da un
we have
parraco
it
de
on
tantas
our
cosas, la ve, dice
calendar
Central
right
Simmer.
now, which is that headscarf.
Oh yeah.
Que sí, sí, sí,
Super
Sara, que hay
cute
muchas
and,
cosas
like,
nuevas.
really versatile and it's
Este
something
peinado
that
se va a
I feel
convertir
like
en uno de mis
I'm gonna
favoritos,
put on
ya
a
os
lot
lo
of my
digo,
things
¿eh?
from here on out.
Este.
Yeah.
Lo voy a
I mean,
usar
these are
un
new tech with
montón.
this too, so
Está muy chulo.
if your hair color is different, it also updates with
Keeps
your
the-
hair
yeah,
color.
nice.
So that's cool.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Mirar
I
los nuevos
think,
detalles de la piel. Las
Molly,
marcas,
did
los
you have
lunares,
some
las
favorite
pecas.
pieces too?
Yes, I did. So the child
Está hablando sin
accessories
Grunova.
that are like bead necklaces.
Mira ese collar, es que
and
lo-
the
qué
bead
chulo.
bracelet. All the swatches are so
encanta,
cute.
qué
and, like, the different
bonito.
beads that it puts on them for that one. Like, I love it, and I love the bracelet.
I love it, que me encanta,
those
super
things just
cute.
Remind me of being a kid and making.
Y la pulserita también, mira.
Everybody in my house and like making them wear them.
O sea, por favor,
Those
¿eh?
are amazing. Steph,
Yo he llevado de esas
did
pulseras y
you
esos
have any
collares así,
favorites?
¿eh?
And I
Así de
think you were
veces.
going to talk to us today about
Es muy
some hair.
noventero eso, ¿eh?
Yeah, for hair, for the Sims 4
Está hablando
together,
Steph.
We collaborated with Lacey Redway, a professional hairstylist, bringing her expertise to the Sims 4. We added a bunch of new braid styles
Mira los
that
peinados.
we hope are going to be improving our catalog, and we really hope that the players
Este lo hemos
are
visto en
gonna
el tráiler,
enjoy.
está muy chulo.
One of my favorites is the one
Este
with the
mola un
top
montón,
bun, the
mirar.
braid bun. The one with the really
The one
big
with the
bun
big-
on the.
This one?
Yeah, that one.
Gorgeous.
We really tried to improve our
Mira los baby hairs.
baby hair styling, so it looks more
Justo
natural.
lo está diciendo
and it
ella.
blends more with the hair. We also and then another favorite one was the.
Ah, vale, de ese hay dos
curly one. We
diferentes,
have one
¿veis?
that's a solid color, but my favorite.
Uno normal y
is
otro con color sólido, ¿ves?
The one that's colored. So we
Estos
kept
peinados
the
a mí me
natural
encantan.
root
Fijaos
color,
cómo cambian las
and
raíces
then
y luego...
the color options are like just the curly
Ahí
tips.
está, lo que está diciendo. Mira qué
So that one
chulo.
was really fun to do. Yeah.
Se ve súper
And
bien,
then we
¿verdad?
also have some more infant hairs that we're adding.
I think this
So
is
we
fun.
have some
No lo están enseñando
options for,
todo, ¿eh?
like, different like textures.
¡Ay, qué bonito
We
este
have the
peinado!
curly,
¡Qué
wavy.
bonito!
But then my
Y
favorite one is I call it the pineapple hair
¡Qué
bun.
bonito!
You always have to do that to it. When
Y la
they're
manchita en
just
forma
long
de
enough, you're
corazón,
like, oh, I
¿qué?
can put it in a
Julia.
ponytail now.
There's also hair for other age groups as well.
Este también me mola un montón.
That's something I really like about this pack is how
Hay-
many
hay
different
mucho
options
pelo
there
afro
are
también,
across
¿eh?
the different age groups. So I think I had her. I don't have matching hair, but I thought that was really cute. Okay.
Yeah, I really like that kind of like from a create a sim perspective and kind of making sure that, you know, from the design side, we're looking at
A ver.
the entire lifetime of the sim, right? Really looking at all the age stages here. and
A ver si
creating
nos
kind of
enseñan
that with, getting
eso,
the
lo de
new
los tres
styles
puntitos,
and
que esté súper
accessories and
intrigadísimo.
against across all those life stages as well.
So I forgot actually to introduce this family.
Mhm.
This is the Lumberjackson family.
Sure.
Technically on the gallery, if you downloaded him, his name is Kurt Lumberjackson, but that
Okay.
was before he was a secret agent, and I renamed him to Ron Lumberjackson.
Los
so I'm aware you
Lumberjackson.
can't get me on that,
Mhm.
but like his name is now Ron Lumberjackson.
Right,
Just so you
for
know.
safety reasons.
Yes, for safety reasons. And
I remember Ron actually. I think from the werewolves stream. Is
Ron's
that
my
right?
favorite.
Yes.
Yes.
Como muy granjero, el
Ah.
Ron
Just didn't introduce them 'cause
Lumberjackson,
you're so
¿no?
familiar with Ron.
Yeah, and I think I've updated him to have, which we forgot to mention, some of our new skin details.
Ahí está,
that come
ahí.
with
Eso quería ver,
So there's,
los...
like, and
los nuevos detalles de la
also
piel.
some moles, which are amazing.
Yes.
Lunares
He's got kind of a beard in the way
faciales.
there, but yeah, and there's also body freckles.
encanta
You
esto.
can kind of see it here. I think on his mom, she has some. body
Lumberjackson
freckles
es,
down
es
here.
leñador en inglés. De ahí el
Lower
caso
scale.
del señor, ¿no?
Yeah.
Just let Mama wear what Mama wants. Come on.
Me
She's
encanta.
like, oh,
Mamá
you can
llame
get fun.
Lumberjackson.
Okay, so yeah, the Lumberjacksons. This is his wife Mira, and these are their
esposa.
kids. They also have a newborn, so we can show off some new pack-specific stuff. For
Tiene un recién
newborns. And then
nacido que
this
sale en
is,
el cast, no
Mama
sé si lo estáis viendo.
Lumberjackson, Ron's mama. So
Mama.
she's also here with this family.
A ver.
And speaking of this, Molly, would you like to tell us a little bit about the family dynamics feature that we're adding with this pack?
Esto quería ver la
Yes, I would
nueva
like to tell you about it. So basically,
dinámica
you
de
can set
relaciones.
A family dynamic now between any two members of a family.
Thank goodness it's
A
real.
ver, que esto me interesa, yo quiero saber
It
bien.
threw me off a little bit while I was talking, so I was like, oh my god,
La-
I'm like hearing myself speak. Okay.
Dinámica de relaciones. Aquí puedes
Yeah,
modificar
so you set
cómo
up
se
a
llevan
family. It creates sort of like a
con la
unique
familia.
family relationship. It mainly influences how those Sims autonomously
Mira, con Cara,
interact
que es
with
su
each
hija,
other.
aquí pone que se
You can
llama
also get, unique
Churururu.
busted interactions
¿Veis?
when they're together, depending on their dynamic. It can be gained in
Esto
tasks,
es
as
muy
you can see
interesante,
here,
¿eh?
or via natural gameplay adventure
Muy
moments,
interesante, me
or
encanta.
via the new keepsake box objects, which we'll see later. Once it's set in cast, they're mostly permanent, as you can also see here, but the new dynamics can still be discovered via adventure moments during gameplay, so they can change over time depending on those.
¿Veis que no lo pueden
Sims'
modificar?
experience with each other.
Imagino que
It can
esto
also
con
be
el
removed via
casualismo
a
de
dynamic remover
se puede
function,
cambiar,
which can be a
pero
function of
esto
reward
se
score
modifica
and
en el
so examples
gameplay
of
y se
how they
puede,
impact
dependiendo de sus
autonomous
conexiones,
behavior
¿vale?
is,
Está
so
diciendo.
you'll see between Mira and Ron, they have the jokesters
Jokesters.
dynamic. They'll autonomously run funny interactions
Jokester,
with
¿qué
each
significa
other, or just
eso?
kind of make each other laugh when they're nearby. They'll also get special playful buffs with each other too. And distant Sims, if they were to have that dynamic, would mostly autonomously avoid each other while in the same house, unless you go out of your way to make them interact. When they
Bromistas.
do, they get a pretty strong
Expansión o de la
tense buff
ACTU
and feel kind
gratuiti.
of awkward being around their distant
Esto es de la
family members.
expansión.
One cool thing to note too is
Carmi.
the dynamic
Todo lo que están
of
enseñando ahora
children
es de la
when a
expansión.
family member lives in another household. So let's say you have a mother and a daughter with a close dynamic.
Son bromistas,
Once
tienen
the
relación de
daughter moves out,
bromistas.
the
Vale,
mother
vale,
might
vale.
call more often, but if they had the distant dynamic, they'd really hardly ever reach out to one another.
I like that. That's a lot of
Esto va a ser
storytelling.
súper interesante de ver, ya veréis,
Being able to see
Yes.
that kind of like once that like naturally, right, as kind of you grow up, you might be changing your households might be
Mira, aquí vemos también
splitting, or,
el nuevo
taking a
iconito que va a
younger sim
tener
and moving them out.
los
And that
nuevos
kind of
bebés.
staying meaningful as a dynamic is really cool. I just wanted to clarify, the reason we don't see in right now you being able to set these is for the sake of
Entonces, ¿qué serán los
streaming
tres
and setting up
puntitos?
kind of like our household. They were set up earlier in Create a Sim. If we are coming in Create a Sim fresh, you would see the drop downs for family dynamic being accessible here. So just kind of once, you know,
Sí, Lena, sí,
once you
Lena.
have,
Esto me va a venir genial para las décadas. Es que va a ser muy guay, ya veréis. Va a estar súper chulo.
as NUEVO was saying.
And we can see a little bit more about these in game later. But we're still not done in cast.
No.
There's so
Yeah,
much
there's
more
so
in
much.
cast.
I was going to mention one other thing. I don't
Oh.
know if NUEVO mentioned it. One of the things that I like about
Editar
dynamics is
relaciones,
also,
okay.
if you have them set and you are playing as those Sims, you'll also see the kind of
Cast full edit mode
suggestions
y
made in
Santas
the
Pascuas.
social kind of options in the pie menu kind of change to reflect what the dynamic might be, and that's also I feel like a
Yes.
really
Uh-huh,
in a subtle
okay.
way that we're kind of tipping the scales and being like this is the way these two Sims sort of like to interact with each other.
Yeah. Definitely.
Vale.
Okay, so we
Likes y
we know about
dislikes.
the preferences, the likes and dislikes category here.
Nuevas
And
categorías.
music genres, one we've had
¿Habéis visto?
before. You might have heard some soul music
A ver.
playing while you were waiting.
En música
and
tenemos
we've
uno-
added soul music.
Great new.
Soul Music,
So
para que le
that's
guste o le
awesome.
disguste.
But
Ok.
we also have two new categories here.
No-
with us.
nuevas categorías,
Sims
características de los Sims y
conversation
topics
You wanna take
conversation,
us
que
through
son como
these as
temas de
well,
conversación.
Nova?
Yes, you're not so easily rid of me.
Esto es
So
muy
true.
interesante.
So yeah, these are the two main pillars.
Características
of
del
social
sim.
compatibility, which is a feature coming with growing together. Sim characteristics, as you
Ambición,
can see here.
emotional,
Each category represents a grouping of Sims based
energías
on a certain
high
archetype.
energies, funny
The way it
Sims. Madre mía, pero hay un
works is when
montón.
your sim likes one of these
Optimistas,
categories, they'll gain
entusiastas
compatibility
románticos.
score with other Sims that fall into that category. When they dislike it, they'll lose compatibility score.
Esto es genial porque esto lo hace un montón el mod Wonderful Whims de cierta manera y por eso bye bye, mi picolísima.
The compatibility is platonic in nature, so
Pero
it can be
vamos,
between
literal,
family
¿eh?
members, and it's also available for child Sims and up.
Sí, eso se sabía, Sita Paula. Se sube de 20 a 50 opciones para poner me gusta o no. Sí. Eso lo dijeron por Twitter, me parece. Depende de los rasgos de la compatibilidad, sí.
Likes and dislikes from the activities category, like piano or knitting, things like that. And the third is lifestyles from Snowy Escape.
Homebodies, Sims. Idealistas, naturistas, pesimistas, entusiastas de los animales, de las mascotas.
Been able to tell from how I was explaining it, but there's tons of cross-pack compatibility here. You'll see the tooltips for each section describes the base game traits that tie into them, but almost every category has
Eso está muy guay, me encanta.
a ton of different packs that tie into them.
Sí, Rita, la fecha de la ACTU es el 14, pero esto que están enseñando es de la expansión. Ya lo han dicho.
So an example we can show is homebody Sims, which are Sims that kind of like to stay home and pursue more like calm and laid back.
Qué guay, ahí te dice todo lo que hace esa nueva característica del Sim. Está muy guay eso, Está muy guay. Perdón, mijos.
Activity preferences like baking from get to work or knitting from nifty knitting, and
esto lo va a hacer súper interesante porque va a cambiarlo cómo se van a relacionar entre sí los Sims. Esto es lo que va a hacer que sean compatibles o incompatibles entre ellos, ¿vale? Eso es lo que vimos en el tráiler, está muy guay.
has varied compatibility scores with the
Por
diverse
ejemplo,
number of
le
sims.
gustan los Sims pesimistas, le disgustan los de energía súper... Y eso va a chocar contra los que sí, ¿sabes? Entonces, eso es la nueva dinámica, que es muy rollo Sims 2. Sí, 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 exacto. Mira, está diciendo que pasa de 20 a 50.
Yeah, nice.
I like this too because in general, before, if you ever like argued with the sim, they would be like, "Oh, I don't like that," but maybe they do now. Maybe they don't.
Yeah, I
Maybe
think
that's
this is
something they like.
this is one of those things that when we were kind of looking
Argumentative
at
Sims.
deepening our
Bueno,
relationships, right,
esos son los
with
pesados,
growing together, really
básicamente.
got to when you think about the way you interact with even your friends, and the way that you might like see
Las
somebody
animaciones.
and be like, right, I feel like I'm gonna have a good connection with this person or a bad connection
Ay,
with this
Julia,
person.
como me encanta.
And taking it outside of
Qué genial.
the sort of the romantic realm, as Nova said. These are at their base platonic.
Sí,
There
esto es una nueva
this,
aspiración, sí es verdad. No me había dado
this kind
cuenta.
of nice
Esto que sale aquí, a ver si lo
personality
dicen.
that we already have for all of our sims, and being able to use that as a tool to kind of help determine these sim characteristics and likes and dislikes. I think we did. The team did an
Un besote,
incredible
chiqui.
job in terms of trying to figure out what these characteristics could be, and doing that, as you heard from Nova, like deep dipping onto all of the ways that you already
Hay mandanga aquí, hay mucha cosa.
And I was gonna say, we'll get a chance to see how that looks in game a little later too.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. So let's look really quick
Topics
here at
son como
conversation
temas
topics
de
as
conversación.
well.
Yeah, so this is the second big pillar of social compatibility.
Pensamientos profundos, decepción, cumplidos, affection, que será como, pues, eso. Argumentos, quejas, complaints será eso, ¿no?
To use those types of interactions on them as the recipient. For example,
a ver qué más baja. A ver, no sé qué de juegos. La niña es una joyita. Sí, 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 menuda. Ha salido cojonuda, qué joyita, sí, sí. Le gusta todo lo malo. Esto también a mí me gusta porque da un poco más juego al drama que tanto necesitamos. Y eso a mí me mola. Interacciones maliciosas, una joyita, pranks, bromistas, poti humor, ¿eso qué es? Gossips, cotilleos. Mola, La niña es carne de hermano mayor. ¿Ves? Y está explicando que se lleva a regular con el padre porque justo lo que a ella le gusta es lo que no le gusta al padre, ¿veis? Y por eso chocan. Eso es guay, Poti humor, bromas escatológicas. Guay. Chilly behavior. Hay variedad,
Definitely. So we'll look more at that in game.
Sigo diciendo que serán los 3 puntitos.
We're not done in CAS.
Are we not? My.
16 temas de conversación.
What more could we look
Gracias,
at
Cristian.
What more could there be, Morgan?
Well, with the aspirations, we actually
Aspiraciones.
From like for the first time since base game, 4 new aspirations for children. These were the 4 that came with base game.
Yes.
And then
now under
ha dicho que es del base game, juego base.
New child aspirations. Incredible. This is
Multi-skill 4. Esto es para el juego base, actualización. Es solo para niños. Solo para niños, 4 nuevas. Playtime Captain, Slumber, Mind and Body y Creative Genius.
And the other thing that I think is really cool about these is our base game aspirations were really about focusing on a particular child skill. And these new ones have a kind of mix of interactions and things to do with new features and objects in growing together, but also are trying to really, as you can see, they're named.
¿Es de la expa?
Right, to have the child be a
¿No ha
little bit
dicho
more
base
diverse in
game?
terms of their skill building, which I think
Multi-skill.
opens
Hombre,
up
lo
those
de la
storytelling
casa del árbol
possibilities for what kind of
es de la
experience
expansión,
you
desde
wanna
luego,
make and what they're doing.
Definitely. Okay, well, let's hop in game.
No ha dicho que
This
sea
is a lot
del,
to
sino
ask.
que es la primera vez que añaden
So-
aspiraciones de niños desde el
I
juego
think it was
base.
worth
Ah,
it.
vale, vale,
Yeah,
vale.
there's just a lot to show
Nada,
them.
nada,
And,
retiramos.
I think the other thing that we hopefully have
No
set
es para el
the
juego
stage
base,
about
es de la
is
expansión.
being able
Cállense.
to then see
El
how
mundo.
some of these choices that you
El
might
mundo.
make and create a sim
Eso viene con la
translate
expa, lo de las
to
aspiraciones,
one of the
¿eh?
things- I'm gonna go a little bit high level design. One of
Añaden
the
para
things that I
los
think we
niños
really
desde el
wanna
juego
do
base
this path
aspiraciones,
was
que yo me he
to
equivocado, lo he entendido mal,
empower
sorry.
players that really wanna set up
¡El
story,
mundo!
right? And in
El
create a sim, being able to really,
mundo.
dig
Ahí están
deep
los
into
12
those
solares
family dynamics,
que ya habían
into those,
confirmado.
personalities,
4 por cada
into those
distrito,
characteristics,
que
into
son
the kind of
3.
conversation topics,
Aquí está el
and
mundo.
really set up your household,
Me muevo aquí
how
abajo
you
para que lo
want them
podáis
to
ver
relate
entero.
to each other and to the world. But we
Vale, vale,
also
vale, vale, vale.
wanted, if
Este es el
you were
mundo,
the kind of
mijos, ¿qué
player that
opináis?
is going into CAS and maybe didn't have that full story in your head.
Idiomas,
or maybe you're
idiomas,
just like,
querida.
I don't want to spend a ton of time setting that up because like I'm not sure.
No han
who
dicho lo de
these
los
are
puntos.
yet,
No,
right?
no, 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 lo de los
That
puntitos
what
no,
we'll see
Lara. Habrá que
reflected is we
descubrirlo.
have ways in gameplay to have those emerge and have your sims evolve.
Vale, aquí
And I think
tenemos
that's something that's
uno.
also really cool about this pack.
Aquí
I know
arriba
you've been on this-
2.
you wanna
Esto es
show
como
off
más
the world.
moderno,
I know
esta
people are
parte
excited about
parece.
this world. Let's talk about that.
Y ese es
before
el
we dive
tercero.
into,
San
into-
Sequoia,
into
es
live
bonito,
mode
eh.
properly.
Tiene vibes de
I
San
like what you had to
Francisco.
say, Scott.
Thanks.
Sí.
So this is San Sequoia.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sort of loosely inspired by San Francisco, which is where we're at. So
Correcto.
my bear head fell off.
Está inspirado en San Francisco, ha dicho.
There, I
Important,
fixed
and
it.
yeah, we gotta keep
Se le ha caído el gorro a la
We
furra.
have 3 neighborhoods here at the Anchor Point Wharf, which we'll be visiting later, and learning more about it. Gilbert Gardens and Hopewell
Hay lotes
Hills.
grandes.
And,
Pues parece que
yeah,
este.
we'll be looking at all 3 of these neighborhoods.
50 por
I'd like to
40
do a quick
ponía.
shout out to
Pero
G.
grande,
Jack,
grande,
Dollar
64
Receipt,
no veo. A lo
and
mejor
Will
este de
Cincy, who
aquí.
built lots for us here.
A lo
That's
mejor
right.
este.
We built our lots that you can see some of them here. We'll be visiting.
No veo muchos lotes grandes, Quizá este y
Not
este,
we're
2.
uploading them.
Y
We're
no son
loading
grandes,
them for the
grandes.
Jackson family today, so.
Podría haber puesto algún lote más, La
And I
verdad
really like
es esa.
one thing. I will see each of the kind of neighborhoods in a little.
Algún
more
lote
depth
más
so you can
no
see
hubiera
kind of
pasado
the
nada.
kind of
16,
world map as well.
18.
I like the
Hay 12.
obviously where we have a personal attachment to kind of the inspiration.
Sequoia
of the San Francisco
Cottage.
suburbs and neighborhoods. But one of the things that I really like about the Bay Area, about San Francisco, is that the kind of
Dice que está basado en San Francisco Bay Area, que es un poco. Yo según entiendo aquí y veo. Aparte de ser muy American People, es muy rollo suburbios. Lo que está en una ciudad, pero alejada de la ciudad donde hay donde hay casas y tal. No hay pisos, no hay apartamentos.
Rach, would you like to give us some background on Hope Hill? Yeah, that's the right one. Hopewell Hills.
Right? Yeah, Hopewell.
This is Hopewell Hills. Yes. Hi, hello. So,
Rach.
yeah, as you had mentioned, when we were kind of thinking about San Sequoia, we wanted to be inspired by the Bay Area. And what I love about the Bay Area is that we've got these different types of neighborhoods.
Ahí,
And
nos va
Hopewell
a enseñar un
Hills
poco
is
el
basically sleepy
el
suburbs.
sitio.
If
Los
that's
árboles
the
son
kind
como
of
los de Willow
dynamic
Creek,
you're
sí.
looking for. So as you
Se
can
parecen.
see, it's really just lots of nicely spaced out houses here. And you're probably thinking, okay, San Sequoia, I see a lot of trees here. I'm not seeing any sequoias. What's that about?
Sequoias.
Well, there's some lore there that you can get into. I'll mention that a little bit later.
Porque se
too,
llama
but I
sequoia y
wanted
no hay
to kind of
secuoyas.
consider
Ah, mírala.
to
¿Qué es eso?
Old Stumpy, the remnants of our sequoias. And I feel like I think
Porque las
maybe
cortaron.
Senator Doy has something he may need to account for here when we talk about the sequoias.
Okay. I knew this was
What?
coming. Let's clear the air. Let's do this.
Suburbios
You know what?
americanos,
Let's do
100%,
this
sí,
publicly,
sí.
okay? Because I've had enough of the design team. So okay, maybe you remember.
Tiene lore,
I don't know
sí.
if you do. I was also lead designer
Tiene lore.
on The Sims 4.
Dice, ¿por qué se llama San Sequoia y no hay secuoyas? Y nos están enseñando eso.
The Werewolves game pack came with a world, a beautiful world, named Moonwood Mill. And when we decided on the name of that world, Moonwood Mill, there were members of the design team that were like, Scott, there is no mill here. Why would we name this world Moonwood Mill? and I was like, I like the alliteration. I think it's, you know,
Moon Mill.
There could have been a
¿Qué
mill
tipo
here.
de
Why don't
barrio
we
era
construct
Moon
the
Mill?
world- Like, we're talking about it being like an old locking
Es un
town.
barrio
There
en el que
probably
eran
was a mill
fábricas
here.
de
Why are you so obsessed
aserraderos.
with there being a mill
What?
right now in Moonwood Mill? Wait, I even wrote a loading string that
Qué
said there
misterio.
used to be a mill in Moonwood Mill
That's
to
why
make
it
sure
exists.
that everyone was clear on that. And then, lo and behold, with growing together, we were thinking.
Se llama
of
por el arbolito
wonderful
este,
names
San
for our
Secuoya, que eso
wonderful world.
será
And
una
San
secuoya.
came up.
Lo talaron.
And I feel like maybe
por eso
some
se
of
llama
the
San
same
Secuoya.
designers on the design team
Pero
were like, Scott,
habrá que investigar,
are you
¿no?
really gonna ship another pack with you as lead designer where we have named a world where you are clearly calling out something, an object that is not going to exist in this world? And, you know, these were designed by members of the design team. I was not the only one who helped decide what
Tiene
was
un
gonna
brote
be.
de secuoya, sí, muy
Did a wonderful
chiquitito.
job
Aquí,
helping
mira.
to design this world with the environment team.
Esperamos.
But also,
Rip
like,
secuoya.
you know, there used to be sequoias
Hubiera
and
estado
sequoias.
guay que
And why
hubieran
not give these worlds a sense
puesto
of history instead of insisting
como un árbol
that they
milenario
always
gigante,
need to have
como punto de
literally
encuentro
what is
o
in
de
the world
visitar o
name
de hacer
right now in the
fotos.
world.
All the design team's giving him up for
It is. You know what? It is. You know, the next pack that I'm on the lead designer for, the world name is going. There's going to be a ton of whatever.
Hay un
We're going to name
puertecito
it something
chiquitito.
that's going to be like Chair Village, and we'll just have a bunch of chairs, and everyone will be happy.
A lo mejor se puede hacer
But I
algo
love
ahí,
San
¿eh?
Sequoia.
No,
I think
no sé.
Without.
yeah, it's true. Like in Latin, is that right? Is like sans. Anyway,
Thank you so
Don't
much,
don't think
Mr.
about it
Joy.
too much.
We're gonna go back to the basement. We're gonna go
Sí, sí.
picture it.
Yo también he visto los coches
So
en el
to
garaje,
create
pero son de
the
decoración, ¿eh?
deforestation, I
Just
really appreciate
Tranqui.
it.
I have in mind to leave the stream right now.
I'm going to talk about the rest of the neighborhood, though, I promise.
Yeah,
So
yeah, go
here,
for it. Yeah, give me a moment.
Dice que cuando diseñaron Moon Mill se dieron cuenta de que no había ningún mill, que es molino, y eran hecho la broma con la secuoya. Pero si es una secuoya cortadita, hubieran puesto una secuoya grande.
It's so creative. I love it so much. And you can see there's a little statue there of Bayani Robles. He is, again, a little piece of lore you're going to learn about
Mira el pescador
more
ahí.
there, but he's one of the original founding guys of this area. If you're into frogs, there may be some frogs here. That's what that icon is all about.
Who
And then I
isn't
just wanted
a
to
frog?
zoom out.
Sí,
and
se ve como
show
muchos
the
sitios para
beautiful
pasear.
marina
Sí, sí, se ve,
area,
se ve.
because I know there's something special for Morgan here too.
Mira,
that we should get into.
el
I like
puertecillo.
that they made it so
Aquí
that
se
you
puede
can
entrar.
walk out here, so you can actually walk out onto it.
Walk here. Sí.
And like I took some family pictures out here, which I thought was pretty cool.
Nice. You
And
get a nice view of the bridge.
yeah,
Hay aquí una
Yeah.
pedida de mano aquí.
Yeah, it's really great.
O un primer beso
The
en
last
el
thing I wanted to call
puerto. Qué
attention to in
bonito.
this area is that the Michelson family lives here, along with the Luna Sullivan family. But the Michelson family, of course, you will recognize
Los
them
Michelson
from our
family,
trailer.
los del tráiler,
And I
viven
wanted
ahí.
to just mention, I saw a lot of players talking about names for this, and there was some definite thought going into those names, and you can learn more about it
Mira la
if
casita
you
esta.
dig into that.
Qué
But
chula.
yeah, Michelsons are here, Luna Sullivan's here, and there is another little starter home that I know you're going to get
Un
into
solar
in a minute.
vacío.
But that is Hopewell Hills for you.
Yep. There's also this empty lot.
Yeah.
And yeah, this was actually a starter home built by Lil Simsy.
Nice.
But we have
Vale, esta casa la ha
upgraded it to be
construido,
super
este
fancy.
base game la ha construido
improved it,
Lim
Morgan.
Simsy.
I've improved
You've
it.
improved it.
Oh,
Kyla.
boy.
I mean,
Han colaborado con
Little
Game
Simsy
Changers, ¿vale?
here.
Para hacerla.
Morgan has ruined it. I can't believe she would do this to your lot. To help show off some of the stuff, some of the cool stuff in Growing Together.
Yeah, because it looks really it's great before. So the thing I love about this starter that she built is that it has 4 bedrooms already. Starting off, you start off with
Cuatro
all 4
habitaciones.
bedrooms that they have here. So you need, I think, 2 or 3 Sims you can move in as a starter home, but it lets you start off with an infant and just move in.
Mira
It's
eso de
very
aquí.
cool, yeah.
En las dos
It's also
habitaciones
very
que hay,
impressive
¿esto
if
qué
you've
es?
ever tried to build a starter with the kind of limitations of budget and stuff like that, but being able to bring that family right in, very, very welcoming.
Ah, ¿y las fotos familiares? ¿Qué es
So
eso?
we've definitely decorated it here to
Mira.
sort of be a little
Pa'
bit
poner
more
fotos.
lived in
Uy, con lo
and
que me
show
gusta a
off
mí
all
eso.
of our cool build buy assets that we have. So
Y
you can check
eso,
some of
eso es
them
como lo de
out
los
here
Sims
in
2.
this house.
Esto.
And,
Para los bebés.
Yeah. Before we really hop into gameplay, while it's still fresh in our minds, we've
Los
been
marcos son
talking
nuevos,
about
sí, qué chulos.
compatibility
Yeah.
while we were in build buy. So I'm thinking
Los marcos
maybe
molan,
we
¿eh?
could show that off in game a little bit really
Yeah, if
quick
you pop
here.
open the rel panel, I think that's the easiest way.
Mirar
to
el panel de
get a
relaciones.
first look at that.
Los
And I
puzzles.
think, you can sort
Que
by
aquí te dicen si
one
es o no
thing
es
here,
compatible,
family.
¿veis?
So we can look at our family here now.
And so you can see that there's a new icon that wasn't
Nuevo
there
icono.
before. If this is, you have Ron selected, right? For Myra, Mama, and Kara. There's a little icon in the top corner.
Ahí te dice lo que sí es compatible, los que están los puzzles juntos y los que no, pues los que no casan, ¿no? Sería.
Yeah, so you can see each icon in the rel panel, or each person in the rel sim in the rel panel has an icon. In the top right, no icon indicates neutral compatibility.
Dicen compatibilidad, buena, mala, no sé qué.
Either have good or amazing compatibility, whereas the puzzles floating apart and not clicking means they either have bad or awful compatibility. You can check the details by hovering or checking the sim profile.
Con los vecinos también, no solamente con los miembros de la familia, ¿veis? Que se llevan mal con todos esos de ahí atrás. Neighbor es vecino, good compatible. Sí, pero tiene buena, pero se lleva mal.
When sims have great good or amazing compatibility, they will be able to become friends much easier. They'll gain much more relationships when interacting with each other, and it'll just feel a little bit more natural for them to click. When they have
Entonces son dos actus, Mario, una gratis y otra con la expansión.
¿A qué te refieres con las actus? Va a haber la actu el 14 y luego ya el 17 la expa. Ya está.
Sort of interactions that the other sim presents to them. It'll just be all around a little bit more of a challenge. And
ya sé para qué pueden ser los puntitos, los 4 rasgos, sí. A lo mejor es para poner un rasgo extra o algo así. ¡El nuevo menú! ¡El nuevo menú! Así van a mejorar el menú. Eso sí viene en la actualización,
left uncategorized, so it's a little easier for you to find. Like you can see, become best friends.
What?
It's left uncategorized. We don't want a sim to
se van a romper todos los mods.
It's in a category they dislike, and we also want to make sure it's easy for you.
Por fin. Esto era muy necesario, Decepción. En cada categoría hay otras subcategorías que tienen que ver con argumentos, malicious, hobbies, cotilleos, pensamientos profundos. Todo eso se relaciona con... ¿Con qué? Con los temas de conversación que hemos visto en el CAS, en los me gustas y los no me gustas. O sea que sí que va a afectar a la hora de relacionarse. Es un game changing, mijos. Porque en realidad va a cambiar cómo vamos a jugar. Tiene que ver con los temas de conversación. Que tú le pongas ahí en el CAS y todo eso. ¿Veis? Afectivos. Eso está muy guay, Va a afectar a cómo vamos a relacionarnos, a cómo vamos a jugar. Esto era súper necesario,
And also I think we updated how ages work. Do you want to talk a little bit about that as well, Nova?
Mira, cotilleos. Cumplidos.
As part of this pack, we've tried to kind of change the experience of having sims of different age groups interacting with each other. We've tackled this in a couple different ways. One of the main ways is through new cross-age interactions. So we've added a host of new interactions available for sims of one age to interact with sims of another age. You can see Mama Lumberjackson is there. A ton of them are new elder interactions.
Ponía ahí contar secretos de Sansecuoyala. ¿Habrá algo de lore por ahí? Eso mola,
They can also, a fun cross-pack bit here, give life lessons under Deep Thoughts. If you have Parenthood installed, performing this interaction will raise corresponding character values based on the life lesson given. So, like responsibility.
La niña es una pieza,
A little bit
cojonuda.
of tie-in there. We have quite a few new child interactions to perform on toddlers. So, they can claim.
Mira el bebé ahí en el suelo tirado. Pero bueno, Julia, ¿qué le pasa?
So they can claim the other sim
Me vuelvo a subir.
alien. Oh, and We see a pop-up
¿Cómo?
too for family dynamics. This is how it looks when
Nueva dinámica
the
familiar,
Sims have been
estricto.
interacting in a certain way.
Mamá
And,
con
the
cara.
family dynamic could potentially change. So it's funny
Oh,
that
qué
that pops up.
interesante.
Yeah.
Así es como vamos a
You
poder
see
ver
more of
cómo
these pop-ups.
cambia,
One of
¿no?
the things that, like, again, this is really cool. What we wanted to do was we wanted to, as I talked about in Creciendo, make it so that
El sim
you could
mayor
set up
pregunta al
everything you wanted
joven.
to,
Uy,
right,
esto es
in
muy
Creciendo,
interesante,
but
¿eh?
also at the same time that the game would respond to how you're playing it. That if you don't have
Interesante.
dynamics set, or even if you do, that they could, there's a chance of them changing depending on how you are playing with these sims. To
La
kind
Jun,
of,
literal.
evolve
Esto es
your
para la
sims
Jun.
into the relationship that the game
La
kind of
Junco.
sees in terms of your playstyle and your play patterns.
Yeah, and it feels really natural too as you have those Sims interact with each other.
Ajá.
But yeah, and toddlers have a bunch of new interactions, like the kick you saw in the trailer. And for most ages, we've added a new family kiss, which you also saw in the trailer too. It's a new super sweet way to show affection within your family.
Sí, yo me he dado cuenta de esto de aquí abajo. La medallita esa. Ahora nos explicarán.
Sort of beneath the surface of everything, we've brought a big change to the base game that will essentially make the interactions of the experience of interacting with two Sims of different ages completely different.
Lo de las fotos familiares me interesa, mirarlos ahí.
We've changed the relationship gain and loss multipliers for every combination of
Ya
Sims.
sabéis que a mí eso me
interacting.
encanta.
So some Sims will find it harder to gain in a relationship when interacting with other Sims of other
Cara se llama
ages
con todo el mundo,
due
sí.
to differences,
Menuda
and
pieza de
some
muchacha.
ages
Madre
will
mía.
find it easier to gain relationship with other ages. So, and this also goes for losing relationship too. So one example of this for children,
Oh.
they gain relationships with and we'll have a Kyle pop up.
Hey bro,
We'll talk
it's
about that in
me,
a second,
your
but
boy Kyle.
children will gain
Perdón.
relationships much faster with other children because
qué?
they just get each other, but they'll struggle to gain relationship quite as fast when interacting
What?
with the team, because the team
¿Me
will take the role
recuerdas?
less
Ja, ja, ja,
seriously.
dude.
So, none of those changes are super
Pero
drastic,
estas
but they're
llamadas, ¿a qué se
definitely
deben?
noticeable enough to add additional challenge when building cross-age relationships in your game. So yeah.
Vuelven los bebés en
Yeah,
el
that's
suelo.
really cool.
Sims
I
2
mean, one of the things that I
rules.
always, like, when I think about real life, right?
Es
is
una
that
visita
kids
así.
become friends so quickly. I'm kind of jealous of them because as an adult, I think it actually is harder to build that friendship. But like that combined with the fact that you can have these cross-age differences of like, you know,
La verdad es que
kids
se
being
está
able to build up that
autoinvitando,
friendship
en
quickly,
plan,
but with
¿tú quién
other
eres?
ages, maybe
Persona.
being less so, and that being something that
I'm
kind of
coming over to
underlies
your
all of
place
our,
to
more
chill for a few
complex
days. Que te
social
quedes en tu
changes
casa de chill,
with
aquí no.
growing together. That was in base game, right? Like that age, kind of those age multiplier are going out. to
Oye,
everyone.
y dile que sí, que quiero saber quién es.
And laying
Sure,
on top of
why
all
no,
the
¿por qué no?
cool
A
stuff
ver,
we've done with
pero
growing together, like I think really makes me excited about the fact that the social landscape is so much deeper with growing together, and it's really, really cool
Es que-
to be able to really add that to the game. So what's this?
we
There's so
got
much going on
¿Qué
in this
será?
pack, right? That
¿Qué-
we have to like.
Estoy
kind of-
intrigado.
We have to wait to catch up. We have
Yo
to,
le diría que
finish
sí, nada más
explaining
que para
the
saber
things
quién
we're
es.
talking about. What's going on here, Morgan?
So we got a phone call from our boy Kyle.
Do we know Kyle?
Kyle.
We know
Okay.
Kyle.
Okay.
¿Quién eres, Kyle?
So Kyle
Aparece.
is like, wait, you don't remember me? Dude, you're so funny. Seriously, never change. Maybe you should read it. You always read these really good.
Oh, okay. Well, we don't quite know who Kyle is,
don't.
but it sounds like he might be the kind of person who's like, "Hey, bro, it's me, your boy Kyle.
Hey, bro,
Listen, I'm coming
it's
over to your
me.
place to chill for a few days, just like old times. Doesn't that sound sick?"
Dile que sí, lo esperas en el porche con una escopeta.
You don't
Pero
remember
G, por
me?
favor. Millunates estates, también te lo
Dude,
digo.
you're so funny. Seriously, never change. Hope you have some juice ready. It's gonna be lit.
Cómo le gusta
I
el
think
show,
we
cómo le
should
gusta el
have
teatro a,
Sure,
a
why
este
not?
Simuru,
Sounds
eh.
like a fun time.
Sure, why not?
Why
A
not?
ver.
Oh,
First visitor.
Milestone
oh, we
too?
got a milestone. What do we
Let's
do?
talk about
What?
Kyle first. No, you want to talk about milestone first?
We talk about those later.
Okay, no. I'm saving milestone.
Let's
Okay,
talk about
okay.
Que viene con su maleta.
Kyle.
This is Kyle. What?
Este señor lo subieron en Twitter.
Look
¿Quién
at the
eres?
suitcase. That's the real dream boat.
Es como muy
Yes, okay,
surferito, ¿no?
sorry.
Como
I was
muy-
looking at Kyle. You were looking at the suitcase.
Muy
He's
californiano.
bringing- He's bringing a really cool suitcase in here.
Yeah.
Con
Into
su
our
maleta.
house, into our home.
He's putting it there.
Okay. Well, we're gonna run
La maleta.
through it.
Oh, well, okay. I don't know about that.
Funciona.
Hey, what?
La maleta no es decoración,
So,
funciona.
I actually know what Kyle's doing here.
Es
Kyle
un
part of our
papazote,
new
también te lo digo,
temporary
sí.
stays system. that you're just going to open it like rude. These suitcases are really cool. Sorry, what do you want to talk about first? Do you want to talk about the suitcases? The suitcases are really cool. Our temporary stays will bring them over. They're also available in the catalog as well.
Detalles, mijos. Son detallitos. Mola, mola, mola.
Kind of like a dresser, right? So you can do anything you want to that you could.
Vale, la tienes en el modo catálogo de comprar también y funciona ahí. Eso está muy chulo.
And Kyle brought his because he's staying for a bit.
Planner outfits.
Not just
funciona un poco como un armario, ¿no?
He's going to be here for a while.
Welcome, Kyle. Bienvenida. A ver.
Temporary stay system allows.
¿Tú quién eres?
And one of the cool things I think about our
hey,
temporary stay system is that we have Kyle coming over as a temporary stay that
a ver, es que me estoy volviendo loco porque hay muchas cosas nuevas y muchas opciones nuevas.
Right? Kyle was like, "Hey, I'm your boy."
Cotillear sobre Sensequoia, creo que ha dado.
Like, yeah, sure. Or I think the other option was like,
Mira las estanterías de maletas. Qué chulas.
But there are a variety of different kind of
sentimiento.
This is what I was talking about when I was
Sensequia Secrets.
Do you want to read this? I don't know what you want
por
to
favor,
read.
lore. Que me gusta a mí un lore. La mantita del sofá, sí, muy de abuela.
Is that they're gonna? This is what I was talking about when I was talking about kind of like these story opportunities, right? These little kind of like
hay una hamaca ahí detrás. Está la de atrás. Mira ahí. Se está ahí. Mira, aquí. Mírala.
Whether it's Kyle visiting, whether it's kind of extended family coming to stay over. I think family friends. There's one where they suggest that they come over because they're maybe going through a tough time and they need some place to stay.
Stay over. Mira, salen ahí las visitas que se están quedando en casa. Los días.
But all of these have chances of kind of popping up.
Oye, se queda 6 días, ya está bien esta persona, ¿vale?
You can see from the calendar that Kyle's going to be here.
Y el dinero de dónde salió no lo sé.
And he's going to hang out and he's going to, be a kind of a true member of your household during that time. He's going to I think each of the different temporary stays maybe has a little bit of special behavior.
Esto me mola mucho.
You can ask him to help out, or you can ask him to relax. I asked him to help out because I want him to help out.
So he's going to maybe help with the kids, clean up, stuff like that.
Like if you're going to stay here, we got a lot of kids.
¿Los controlas? No, son visitas. Se quedan en tu casa, pero tú no los controlas.
Really kind of contribute, please, Kyle. But the other thing, you had the calendar open. If you pop that back open, and you can't do it now because I think Kyle is here. But you can.
Lo puedes cancelar.
Eso
está también guay.
But you can also, through the calendar, initiate a temporary stay yourself. So if you're like, hey, we just had another baby. I'm doing a challenge. I'm having a lot of
algo
babies.
así, pero son visitas. No funciona igual.
Okay.
And if Kyle hadn't shown up, I was going to have later on her call her dad and ask her dad to come stay and help out with the kids.
Yeah. And so that's something where you can initiate that as well. You can select a kind of like length of stay. I think it's something from like 1 to 6 days. And kind of
6 días, Julia.
So again, sort of like another kind of reflection of the goal in this pack, which was to give players the agency to kind of start these moments of drama themselves, or have them invited into moments of drama through like Kyle showing up and being like, you know what if I just crash for a little bit?
And we've had this in a few packs where there's like a special gossip interaction on like the townies that live there, and Kyle's got some delightful ones. So I'm gonna have you read these again.
Yo quiero ver el baby shower. No sé si lo van a enseñar todo, No creo que lo enseñen todo. Pero,
so this is, you were asking Kyle,
I asked him about what's going on in San Sequoia, man.
No pueden enseñarlo todo.
It's just been a week, Just, you ever see something you just can't unsee or get out of your head? Last week, I set my llama berry power sip on a bench
¿Cómo le
while I was
gusta
doing push-ups at the park,
un show a este singurú, Mira cómo lo vive.
Knocked it over. Full can. Total waste. I'm clawing my way back to normalcy, man, but it's a long road. He loves his power sip. I think like I was saying, like some of them have some special things they might do while they're there.
Mola,
You might see Kyle drinking some power sip or leaving some cans around if you have him over.
Yeah.
Mira, cogió el bebé, un poco turbio,
taking care of our baby here, helping out. Let's see, something I was going to show off before Kyle showed up was
Mira la otra ahí
by the
tan
way, I
pancha.
would like to point out our toddler has been sitting here this whole time.
Como si
Oh, in the
nada.
high chair.
In the high chair.
Just like just chilling. Not
Hay un
needing-
pañal en el
yeah,
suelo.
Not needing to be taken out.
Not needing to be taken out.
I'm really happy that we are able to kind of get that quality of life improvement for the high chair and get some of those annoyances that might be happening right now to
I'm thinking maybe let's look at the newborn stuff first.
Okay.
Okay.
Right, because we do have a newborn in this household as well.
Oye, tiene...
Yeah.
El bebé tiene otra ropita.
Yeah, we showed off some of the newborn stuff that is coming.
Tiene otra ropita el bebé.
One of the cool things.
Jane, muchas
you might
gracias.
have-
Hola, Mario y
Yeah,
mijitos.
newborn and
6 mesecitos
what,
ya,
they're wearing
jojojojo.
right now.
Os
Besote.
veo extranjis
Also
mientras
have the
curro
ability
menor que 3,
to,
gracias por los
change their
ratitos.
Mira, tiene otra ropa.
outfits for our newborns, which are
Por
really, really
fin le
My
podemos cambiar de
favorite is,
ropa a los bebés.
Sophisticated.
Sophisticated.
So-
Is that because of the name?
Sophisticated, ¿eh? El juego de
Actually,
palabras.
it looks like a crab outfit
Sofisticado.
to me. I don't see the fish, but I like the name. Yes.
Yeah, sophisticated. It
Ay,
does
qué
sound better
guay.
than
Esto me gusta.
sophisticated.
Las ropitas.
Yeah, that doesn't make
But that's
much
really
sense.
cute. You have
Es
a
que al
bunch of
principio me ha
outfits
parecido
for our
verlo,
newborn.
que estaba la opción,
Yes.
pero mira, ahí está.
And you saw there was the kiss interaction. So
Yeah, I think that's
Imagino
available
que
from a
igual
variety
es
of
de
ages.
la
As
expansión
Nova
esto,
talked
si no lo
about,
enseñaba
we wanted
antes.
when we're looking at family interactions, one of the things we really wanted to do is make it so that a bunch of our ages,
Pick up.
especially our younger ages, could interact where they could, right? Sometimes
Bueno, por lo
they're
menos
physically
la
just, like,
visita,
too
estás
small
viendo
to
que
do
estaba
something,
recogiendo y
but where we
limpiando,
could,
¿eh?
we wanted
Eso
to
está
add
bien.
the ability to kind of, like,
Hay un
show
pañal en el
affection
suelo,
to
me
the
meo,
newborns.
yeah.
Me meo.
So
And then one of the things, this will be a pattern that you'll
Mira
see
la cama,
as
qué
we go
bonita.
up the ages as
Aquí,
well.
qué
But we
chula.
added a few different.
I think I accidentally had this off on accident. but I'd
Autonomía
love to see
total,
some
a ver.
autonomy here,
Okay.
so I'm gonna
Pues
turn
sí
it
tiene
on.
4 habitaciones.
Some of the,
Ya se me hacía mi
some
pequeña, pero sí, tiene
temperament
4
to
habitaciones.
our newborns, so
La
that
casita.
every newborn
Vale,
will
la
not be
cocina es
exactly
nueva,
the
¿eh?
same. Some will be a little bit maybe needier. Some
Los
will be a little
frigoríficos y
bit
todo
easier
eso.
to care for.
Mira la
And that's
carita de los
something that,
bebés.
again, you'll see,
Es que
a
por
pattern. That was a
fin
goal,
la han
right, to
cambiado, por
really
favor.
inject some of those younger Sims
Por
with
fin.
a sense of personality and an additional sort of individuality as you have different kids to really see them.
La
shine
maleta
as their
la ha
own
dejado ahí en
Sims.
medio, pero esa es la del invitado. Cuando se vaya, la coge y se pira.
We just discovered something on our infant, and I think we're about ready to discover something also on our
Simología.
toddler here
Whoa,
at the
okay.
same time.
Agresivo.
Yes.
So let's talk about
You want to talk about quirks?
toddler and infant quirks.
Yes,
Yeah.
let's talk about quirks.
Los infantes
So
también han
quirks
sido
are
modificados
new,
con esto, ¿eh? Por lo que estoy
kind of
viendo.
like
Va
as the
descubriendo
name might
como
suggest,
su
little
personalidad,
quirks
¿lo
of
veis?
personality that you might discover on our younger Sims. You can
Milestones,
see
esos
that-
sonitos.
so right now, this is Delaney, right? Delaney has the personality trait Charmer. That was set in Create a Sim. You also
Ay,
see
qué
this
guay.
aggressive trait under the trait manual, which is a toddler quirk that we discovered. Every
Agresivo.
toddler and every infant will have 3 different quirks that you can discover. And from each of the age stages, those 3
Qué
quirks
guay.
come from a set of
Pero, ¿y todo
18,
esto?
I believe. So 18 for toddlers,
Esto de
and
aquí
18
son
for
los
infants
hitos,
as
¿no?
well.
Social,
And you can
life,
kind of tell from
first.
those numbers. There's a
Eso es
wide
nuevo.
variety of possible. That's a lot of. I guess she's an astronaut.
Eso es
That's a
nuevo.
lot of money.
Naraya,
En mi
muchas
casa
gracias.
dice que las
A
visitas
bunch of different kind
traigan
of
pan.
combinations and permutations
Jajaja,
of the
luego
possible
subirás
quirks that
resumen.
they could have.
Literal,
Un
¿eh?
besote, Mario.
Literal, muchas
Menor de
gracias,
3,
Naraya.
menor de
Naraya.
What I really love about it is it gives
Seguramente
them,
suba todo,
so
porque
you can
hay un
Leo
montón de
here,
cosas
we
nuevas.
discovered
O sea,
2 of the 3
sí.
now. Sunny was
O sea, lo
straight
suba
up. But we also discovered that Leo frequently
el resubido
sneezes, super
a
cute,
YouTube.
and loves being held.
So right now he's really happy because he's being held.
Yeah, but it also might mean that if you put him down, he might get a little more upset.
Well, let's
because,
put him down. Let's see what happens.
But
He doesn't
Interesante.
always do
yeah,
that,
but
Elsa, muchas gracias
the
por
thing
el
that I really love
Prime.
about it is that
Un
you
besote
can have-
enorme, thank you.
How dare you put me down? That you can have infants and toddlers that
Qué
you
mono.
have given the same personality traits.
Pero bueno, ole ahí, Blanca.
Menudo mes que
But
nos
you'll
Mira el
viene.
discover
retrete.
that they have these little quirks that
Blanca,
really make
muchas
them feel
gracias.
unique. And like I said, some of them
Mira el
are kind of
retretito.
little cute
Oh,
quirks,
qué
right? Like frequently
cute.
sneezes, it means you're just going to notice that they sneeze a little bit more.
Qué
But some of them,
chiquinino.
like aggressive or likes being held. I think there's one where they really enjoy
¿Qué hace?
sleeping
La
in the
furra
Sims'
ahí, me
arms
meo.
as
Yeah.
opposed to in a crib. they're going to change the way that you think about that sim. They're going to change the way that you play with that sim. And I really love that, like, these little things that you can discover about these sims kind of affect.
El bebé está enfadadísimo, mírale.
In a
Mírale.
real kind of gameplay. What?
¡Hostia! ¡Incendio!
What did you do?
El invitado. Ya la está liando. Ya la está liando. Julia. Los bomberos.
I do have an alarm. The firemen.
It'll be fine.
Okay.
Hay alarma, que no cunda el pánico.
Works on our infants and our toddlers. I don't know if you had anything else that you wanted
No
to
panda
talk
el cúnico, no pasa nada.
Yeah, we added a cheat so you can.
Ahí me hace eso la visita y le echo, Me quema la cocina la visita y le echo su casa.
Oh, Kyle.
Entre la joyita de hijos que tiene. Se ha reseteado, me ha parecido verlo,
No. So there's a new pack
El sim, digo.
for growing together where you can oops, I think I have the wrong person selected here.
Right, yeah.
And you can see they also saved the infant. Isn't that nice of them?
Expansion pack.
You can see there's infant quirks. You can remove quirks if you were like, well, I want to make my kid
making your infant and you're like, they don't sneeze that much.
Yeah, so you're like, I want them
Eso es todo esto de aquí,
or I want them to be a feeding tinkler.
Right.
You can go ahead and
que son como los hitos.
Or remove ones you don't want.
Yeah.
Le salía el fuego en los hitos, sí.
Another way of kind of keeping the control.
Que funciona, yo creo que los hitos funcionan un poco como los recuerdos de los Sims 2. Como experiencias vividas, ¿no? Algo así.
It's like my new favorite thing whenever I get a toddler or an infant. I'm like, who are they going to be?
Who are they going to be?
Yeah. So,
but
yes.
yeah, as you saw, kind of we were discovering them. The other thing that's really cool is you discover them as they do things related to that, right? Like I think you discovered that maybe Delaney was aggressive because she was like punching the bear.
Cara a la cocina, ¿no? 3.000 pavazos.
Kind of exhibit that behavior. That's when you see it come out.
And you can see too. There's you can see the icons now on the interactions,
right? Which is like that. It's related to that quirk.
Like, I think probably play in water. She loves water.
There you go.
Ay, mira, eso también es nuevo, como las fuentecillas esas ahí del fondo.
So, yeah. Another thing, we just
mira las plantas, qué bonitas.
Right? And before we also had a milestone pop up.
I think when Kyle came over, there was like a visitor.
Vale, ha dicho del pop-up que ha salido del milestone, de lo del incendio.
And because I think we're going to get another one. So while we talk about these, he doesn't like wake up.
Es que está ahí todo el rato cosas nuevas, yo estoy volviendo loco.
Let's see. I'm going to start.
Baby care, más opciones.
Friendly. Tummy time together.
Okay, you're going to spend some tummy time with
Leo. Yeah, she's going to do some tummy time with Leo. Okay. And let's talk about what we saw earlier, which was
Ay, mira, la ha puesto.
It was down here.
Qué mono.
First visitor milestone unlocked.
Yes.
For Leo.
Vale, ese es un hito desbloqueado, ¿no? Como primera visita.
We also just had a fire.
Te vas ahí y sale en first, que serán primeras veces. Ha experimentado el incendio en San Sequoia, en la casa. Ñiqui ñiqui. Ay, eso está muy guay. Por fin sale esto. Me encantaba a mí ver esto en los Sims 2. Me encantaba.
In growing together, milestones are really.
El niño tiene un cabreo que mírale. Menudas joyitas de niño le han salido a esta persona. Madre mía.
Show off the big events that happened in a Sim's life. You just got a new milestone. Roll over to back on Leo.
That's because I was doing tummy time.
You were doing tummy time together.
And I set it up so that I knew that they would be getting that milestone.
It's almost like we had a plan for the stream before we had
la alfombrita.
A fire and everything went off the rails.
I wasn't playing.
Roller over to back.
So I think what's really cool about
this le está como enseñando, ¿no? A hacer todo eso. Mola.
Is that milestones are really important for our infants. I think they're
eso está muy guay,
really cool.
Eso va a estar súper guay.
And then I'm going to reserve talking about them for our older Sims.
Nacimiento.
But you can see that
esto me encanta, porque es que me recuerda un montón a los Sims 2.
Sort of divided into fine motor, gross motor,
aprendiendo a reach.
There's some other milestones like firsts that are going to be things that or life milestones that are going to be more broad. But the thing
¿Veis?
Is really cool
yo creo que es una expansión que va a ser muy game changer, es verdad. La forma en la que vamos a jugar con la familia, relacionarnos. Aparte ya, claro, añadiendo una nueva etapa de la vida, puede estar muy, muy interesante.
In a sort of more specific way than just a skill bar, right? Like in ways that we've done before where
sí, los de color son los completados y los que están y los que aparecen así como en gris son los que están en proceso de ser completados. Eso es. Sí, Bruji, el memorable events fuera, el Wonderful Wings fuera, por lo menos yo esos los voy a quitar, esos mods, con la nueva expansión.
That they are getting toward the skills and kind of like physical abilities that they need to build as an infant.
¿Ha hecho una foto? Ay, el bebé. La nubecita.
You also see that we have these kind of like these milestones in here that
Born to Hospital, nacido en el hospital.
Dotted outline to sort of
qué
indicate
guay.
what might be next for that infant.
Ha hecho una foto, pero cuando ha crecido, ¿no? Es que no me he fijado bien. Y aquí puedes ver toda la lista, eso está guay.
What interactions and ways to explore the world that the infant can now do. You're just going to cheat. You're going to unlock all of our milestones for our infant here. That's a lot. But
la abuela,
when we start off our infants in growing together, you'll see that they are starting off fairly young, right? Like right after being a newborn, they aren't able to move on their own. They don't have milestones like being able to roll over or sit up or anything like that. And so you need to take a lot of care of them.
Mono eso.
And then what you'll see is that as you gain milestones, you gain the ability to do some
Madre,
really
4 hijos.
So,
Esta casa es un infierno, ¿eh? No paran nunca.
New, infant that doesn't have the sit-up milestone
por favor, ¿qué es
won't
esto?
actually be able to explore food on the high chair. You can do it with Leo because he's able
explorar
to
comida. Esto es para ir abriendo lo que le gusta, lo que no le gusta de comer al bebé. Oh, mira, yogur. No me da tiempo a leer. ¿Vendrán profesiones nuevas? No.
As they unlock new milestones, really the world opens up for them in terms of being able to do things with more objects.
You can see here, Leo can play with toys, but like let's say we take Leo off of this playmat and we go put down.
Ahora es vídeo para YouTube. Voy a subir el stream.
And we put down,
lo voy a resubir a YouTube porque en cada momento están enseñando cosas y es más dinámico irlo viendo así. Como lo estamos haciendo aquí. Está guay.
So let's put Jenna there.
Mira, eso parece como juegos de mesa, ¿no? Que estaban ahí donde la tele. Veo también mucho clattercillo por ahí. Ya se están animando a poner el clatter en las expas y todo eso. Está guay. Primera vez sonriendo en el apartado social.
Give individual sort of events and skills that they're building that open up a lot of the ability to really interact with the world in new ways. And I think that's really cool. It makes our infants, for growing together, feel like they're growing up through their infancy and allowing you to see that through the milestones.
La cocina, sí, la cocina es nueva, sí.
Not like if we had just made milestones for infants, I would already be like, whew, job well done, team. That was not enough, of course. We have milestones across all of our ages, so that if you, as you grow up, you continue to gain
menuda criatura,
meaningful for that age. And I think it changes a little bit because
aprender a subir escaleras, aprender a andar, aprender a bailar, estudiar formas, eso está muy guay, ¿eh? Primer libro leído.
You need to really interact and explore with the world. They're more about tracking important events in your life, right? And I think when you look at milestones across all the ages, the two things that I think are really
todavía nos enseña el cambiador, es verdad. Y cambiador hay, porque lo hemos visto en el tráiler. A ver si lo usan.
Almost timeline of your sim. Right? At the end of your sim's life, or like
los sitios también están para niños y adultos, sí.
You can look back on it and be like, what are all the things that my sim has done? And being able to see their milestones is just a really cool way of being able to track that over time.
These were all made at their current
y ahí te dice que puedes ver los hitos por edad, por grupo de edad.
During that age, what happened to them? What did I do with them?
Claro, pero si tú has creado al sim desde la juventud, pues te van a salir a partir de esa edad.
¿Sabes? For some of our bigger milestones, we have little bits of kind of ways to make sure that it feels like a bit of that Sims history. It isn't just an icon for you as a player to look at later and be like, oh yeah, this happened to them. So I'm going to talk about some of the good ones first as you make a bad one happen to Ron. But we have things like Ron has a milestone for getting married because they got married at some point in the past. And getting married or like having
a ver, porque ahí va a desbloquear uno, a ver. Se va a hacer pipí, imagino que será la primera vez que se hará pipí. ¿Eso qué es?
So we can see, like,
certificado de matrimonio.
Between Ron and Myra, right? Like, and so you have these decorations that remember.
Cara, baby prints, school drawings, dibujos de la escuela. Oye, eso me encanta.
Decorate the house not only with these cool decorations, but really give this lot.
Las manitas del bebé, es un print de las manitas.
Family that lives here, and I think that's really awesome.
Ay, esos detallitos de verdad que a mí me encantan.
Sims with those
qué bonito.
Kind of decoratives can have interactions to reminisce on them, depending on how they felt about that event or what age they are now.
Nice.
Have other,
mira el cambiador, está ahí. Mírale. A ver si lo usa.
Sort of like future regret, I would say. Like,
¿habéis visto?
Had a milestone where
Middle crisis, tiene la crisis de la mediana edad. El Ron.
His first bladder failure, you can see that the milestone remembers that here at Sequoia.
Bueno, ahí sale que ha desbloqueado
that was at their home.
la primera vez que se ha hecho pipí.
But what that might mean is in the future, if he is on this lot, which happens to be his home, which he will be.
Interesante.
He, is kind of like waking up from sleep, or there's some other.
El certificado de matrimonio es un puntazo,
potentially autonomously thinking back on his milestones. He might remember that his first bladder failure was here, and he might get a debuff that's like, that
la ducha, esa es nueva también.
I'm still here, and
qué bonita,
that's not great.
Qué elegancia la de Francia.
So, unfortunately, because it's not like on a venue or something where he can avoid it.
Bañera ducha, porque es.
Por
fin hay una nueva así doble. Las que había en el juego eran bastante antiguas. Está nice. Jasco,
Hola, 5 meses ya.
Gracias.
If you are cooking in that location for some time afterward, you might get a little extra stress.
Tiene muchas cositas la expa,
so, like, some of these milestones that, some of the more negative ones, I think especially, like, have these sort of, these lingering effects that can carry on through your Sims lifetime.
Some other things
Mira.
to maybe talk about while we're talking about Ron's life.
La crisis de la mediana edad.
Unfortunate life. He's also going through a midlife crisis. You really set up Ron to succeed here.
Tiene la crisis de la mediana edad y aquí te dicen cosas como para hacer, ¿ves?
Pushing it down.
Yeah, he's just
down the crisis.
Me encanta.
He loves his family.
But midlife crisis is a new thing that can happen to our adult Sims.
Esta es una aspiración temporal, pone ahí. Y le salen como varias cosas que hacer para superar, supongo. La crisis de la mediana edad.
4 different types of midlife crisis that can happen for your sim. These are things that as your sim ages,
eso está súper
growing up through being an adult, they can suddenly kind of feel like they're missing out on life. And you can see that Ron
eso está súper chachi, me encanta.
Is it has him kind of come up with a bunch of goals that he set for himself to be like, you know what?
Muy guay.
Satisfy my desire for adventure. I really want to do these things right now. That would break me out of my midlife crisis. It would make me think I'm actually being able to get some adventure in my life that has been kind of a little bit.
Han añadido lo mejor de los Sims 2 y los Sims 3, dice que.
And these are optional. As a player, you can just be like, you know what? No, suffer through your midlife crisis. I don't care. But if you
Workplace
do
rival
some of these for Ron, what you'll see is that the midlife crisis.
Rival del lugar de trabajo.
You'll get potentially a
beneficial
kind of mood after the midlife crisis is over.
Mira.
Yeah, it depends on how happy you want to make your sim. He also
drama.
Rival
de trabajo.
Yeah, I mean,
¿Qué está haciendo la niña ahí? Jugar
I know Bella is well liked among everyone, and so having to go up against her.
Esto está amazing.
If you are in a career.
Dice que es el rival para tener una promoción en el trabajo.
Won't be able to get a promotion, right? There's some drama
going
on.
Esto está muy guay,
that can come up. And,
no paran de servir, literal.
When you are at work, you will have a couple of new options on your Sims skewer to be able to potentially do some positive or negative interactions with Bella to try and
En cada trabajo va a haber un rival que te va a pedir pues cosas para poder.
You can invite Bella over.
Esto está muy guay,
outside of work to try and resolve it. You can,
¿Los Toonies progresan solos en el trabajo? Sí. Sí.
You can take care of Bella however you want to. And if Bella somehow just isn't on this plane of existence anymore,
so watch out all you designers that are making fun of the named worlds that got.
I'm just saying.
Esto está súper chachi. Qué bien. Puede ganar Ovela o puede ganar. Bueno, el Vira Lápida o puedes ganar tú. En cada trabajo va a ser diferente. Tiene objetivos para conseguir esa promoción, ese aumento, llegar al nivel 3 de lógica, el 3 de carisma. Esto está guay. Esto está muy guay.
The workplace rival does that. We've added a burnout system so that if you're going too hard on a particular like skill building or working too hard, your sim may kind of indicate to you that they need a break. They need to do something that's different. If they're kind of like too mentally taxed, they may need to do something creative. If they've been just doing creative things, they may need to do something that's like a mental break from that. We added, there was another
Getting fired?
Yeah. That's like, again, like I think I was like, we added the opportunity to be laid off, which is a weird way of putting it.
It's not. We added a lot of fun stuff for adults. We just made their lives dramatic.
Man, there's stuff that can happen to you that you need to deal with, but there are like positives that can come out of that, right? You can get laid off, and after actually what happens is that when you go to work, there's a chance the company is like going through restructuring or something that means they're going to be layoffs. You might be able to make it just through just fine.
Sí, hay muchas cositas en la expa,
period, right? Like you can survive that.
Sobre todo muchos detalles que a mí eso me gustan mucho, ¿sabes? Mira la estantería, como con el círculo y el este de la Play. Eso está chachi.
Look for new jobs, knowing that you were just laid off. But yeah, it's a little awkward to be like, we added the opportunity.
Mira, esto parecen como manualidades también.
Growing together, and I think, yeah, it is. It is a story opportunity, I think, for our players, and making those adult lives feel fuller, right? And feel like your entire lifetime there's things happening that you are both drama that you're potentially dealing with, but also stories that are available for you.
Lo de la crisis de la mediana edad mola,
really adding to all these layers of
mola.
For as they are right now. Jenna's unlocking some milestones too.
A veces enseñan lo de la casita del árbol, que también está guay.
Toddlers and adults. And some stuff for elders. Let's talk about kids a little bit too.
Okay.
So
Mira,
we talked about these aspirations that they have.
Las aspiraciones nuevas.
But there's actually a lot of stuff we
que van a ser las 4 nuevas para los niños de la expa.
Sometimes she's getting a confidence pop-up.
Oh, right, that's flying off of her head. I'm seeing that, and I'm seeing under the traits that she has high confidence right now.
Yep.
High confidence.
Children can now have low, neutral, or high confidence. They start off with neutral, and this is kind of like a fluctuating trait throughout their childhood, depending on like how much they're succeeding.
Dice Yoli, me está pareciendo una expansión muy completita. A mí también.
Responding. I don't know if she's done anything recently for them to respond to, but for example, under friendly and then compliments, he can praise her effort in social growth.
Right, so she's gained social skill, and so like
hay muchas interacciones nuevas.
Or you can criticize it,
and so that'll affect the child's confidence, right? Yeah.
Yeah, but also like I love like she could go on the monkey bars out here, and if she falls off, that's going to affect her confidence.
Right. So things that they're doing on their own, certainly the way the caregivers are.
Todo está como conectado. Todo.
As well. And then
tiene un porqué.
Right now, because like she believes in herself because she is confident. It's just going to make
I believe
it
in
kind
me.
of better.
Creo en mí.
Versus if she has low confidence,
por tener la
she might
confianza
get a fear
alta.
that wasn't there before, and she's going to start like feeling.
Porque
like,
menudo
bad
bicho
about
es.
things,
Ay, mira lo del diente.
Like, compiling, right? So.
Yeah, so it affects kind of their like.
A ver si lo enseñan.
Say, what happens when a kid,
claro, se me había olvidado lo del hada de los dientes.
They get a locked-in trait that is either low or high self-esteem. If their confidence was neutral, nothing happens. But if they had high confidence or low confidence, that'll as a teen they'll have high or low self-esteem, and then that just carries with them the rest of their life.
Like do some of the same stuff where they will kind of show that through different.
Mira el infante parece que está caminando bien. ¿Lo habrán arreglado? Espero que sí.
So
el piano también es nuevo.
Piano, even though she doesn't like practicing piano.
Okay.
Because number one, It's a standing piano that takes up 4 slots, not 6.
Que hace los pañales ahí encima del piano,
Show it off
Julia.
really quick.
Beautiful. And I know that some of our we had showed
Ah,
off
qué
this
bonito.
piano in some of our trailers, but I think we'd showed it off before with some of the really artful and beautiful
Qué bonito, muy rústico.
kind of variants. But not necessarily the kind of just like
Un piano de pared, finally.
And so you can see that we have a bunch of them. Just have a brown one if you want to. It's not that exciting.
Muy chulo,
I like the ones that have art on them, but a wide variety of these.
El piano de los Sims 2, es verdad.
Yeah. So
Es
we're
verdad.
going to have her play some piano and check out some new stuff for children that we added in here when she gets here.
Ahora.
She's playing the piano.
So she's playing the piano. Number 1, you can see now when
Las habilidades nuevas, que esto lo dijeron en Twitter.
Icon for that skill they're gaining above
Bueno,
their
el nuevo
head.
sistema de habilidades de
It kinda
niños.
helps
A
you.
ver.
But for children, they actually, we've separated this out, where children now have their fundamental skills, which were the skills you were already kind of
those seem
familiar
very
with.
familiar.
Vale, dice que van a estar separadas las
But they also
fundamentales
gained
de las
certain adult skills that we felt like we could support,
habilidades,
or
¿no?
that we were supporting. And we can continue to add to this
Van a
over
ser las
time.
fundamentales creatividad,
They will
mental,
gain
motor y
adult
social.
skills
Y
at a
luego
slower
las
pace
que
than an
aprendan
adult would
aparte,
gain
como el
that
piano
skill.
o la
And they will
guitarra
gain these
o...
fundamentals now quicker than they used to.
Okay.
So these gain much quicker, and these gain slower than if you were an adult.
Yeah.
But it kind
Ajá.
of means now that
Esas
like,
son
if
las
she really
fundamentales,
wanted
las
to
que
work
aprenden en la
hard
niñez, y luego
and
las
try
skills
to improve
son las
her
que
piano, that
también
she
pueden
could
seguir
do it
aprendiendo
with
en la
already known
adultez.
piano, whereas
Eso está muy
before,
guay.
If she
Right.
played piano her whole childhood, she would have
Está muy guay.
know how to play piano very well.
Right.
So it's one of the ways that like the things you're doing as a child really matter and carry on
Está
the rest of
chachi,
their
¿eh?
life now.
Yeah, that's a very cool update.
Yeah. I'm personally really excited about this one. Let's see.
Dice que eso va a estar en la actualización.
So
Me ha
one of the things that I
parecido
know we were looking
escuchar.
at the midlife crisis for Ron. He had a goal that was to take an outdoor nap, right?
Dice, eso está re bien porque tu sim niño cantaba y al crecer no sabía cantar, lo cual no tiene mucha lógica. Correcto. Ahora ya lo han hecho más.
Okay.
La visita no se va, la visita se queda 6 días. Lo hemos visto antes. Vale, la casita del árbol. A ver.
Maybe Mama Lumberjackson as well.
La van a construir, supongo, porque está ahí así como... Creo que ese árbol se compra así, me imagino. Y luego ya lo pueden construir, a ver, porque según el tráiler vimos varios tipos de... ¿No? De eso, a ver. Billy, ahí te está señalando qué habilidad está mejorando. Eso también es nuevo, ¿eh? Mecánica, no sé qué. Inteligencia. Eso está guay.
I'm gonna
Está
grab
guay.
water, actually. I feel like I've been talking for like an hour.
Yeah, so you can see that we have a partially built
Singuru no va al
here.
ataque, a ver.
When it's purchased, it's fully unbuilt base that allows multiple sims.
Funciona
to build
como lo del
together.
cohete, sí parece. A ver.
So when a sim starts to build,
Lo que pasa es que lo puedes
they just
construir
have to be a teen
con
or
la
older,
familia,
and
o
then
sea,
children can
varios
join in
sims
as well
a la
to
vez.
help out with the process. You'll see other sims hammering different parts of the treehouse.
Pero
pulling
sí,
up
la
the
animación de
pieces, etc.
construir
Again,
es
and
como
then
la
you
del
see
cohete.
the finished
A ver.
house.
Yeah.
Once it's fully built, it becomes functional. Sims can go up and down via the ladder. They can play on the balcony and
Decoraciones.
sit on the bench and interact with the enclosure.
Ah, que puedes cambiar el tipo de decoración, el
As
tipo
you can
de...
see, Kara's about to play pretend, or
A ver,
do
cámbialo,
other things as well
que
too,
lo quiero
but,
ver.
yeah, but basically, you can pop a
Nap, incluso.
decoration state onto the treehouse.
Imagino
once it's fully built. And
que el
each of
ñiqui
those
ñiqui nuevo de la
decoration
expa
states
será
are
aquí.
going to
Espero.
match, different
A ver.
play pretend sort of scenarios that children can have.
Personalizar. Y pueden subir, se pueden
So,
sentar ahí. Eso está guay.
Oh, yeah.
Es
Yeah, so
amplio,
you
¿eh?
can
I meant
Oh, wait, what?
Ay, perdón.
Oh,
Different
yes,
styles.
yes, sorry. There's so much you can do with it.
Okay. Yeah, so
okay.
there's the
Ay, mira la
different
niña, está como
decoration
jugando, ¿no?
states that match each of the child's
¡Qué
favorite
bonito!
things. You can see Kara is playing pretend as a
Marinero,
fairy
a
tale
ver, más,
princess,
más.
and you can
De exploración.
decorate the house to look like a fairy tale
¡Qué
castle to match
chulo!
that, or like space, island castaway, whatever matches your child Sims.
Hay tres,
ideas
¿no?
and
3 o
what they
4, 3.
prefer.
Ah, no,
On
más,
the
más.
enclosure, as you can
Hay
see,
más.
we could have Sims relaxing or sleeping. We
Eso
can
está
also
nice, ¿eh?
have adult
Me gusta.
Sims woohoo in the enclosure. So there is a new woohoo on the treehouse.
Sleep. Que pueden dormir dentro y todo.
The treehouse can also be upgraded from this point too. So we have
Qué
an awesome
bonito, en
functional
verdad me gusta un
treehouse,
montón,
but we can give it a bell,
Ah, puedes
because
añadir,
why not?
es verdad,
A
la campana,
slide,
el
so you
tobogán,
can climb up the slide or slide down it.
luces.
Lights
Ah,
to
qué
keep the
chulo.
treehouse lit up, or a
Y el
sliding
POW,
pole
que es
that
como la
you can
barrita.
slide down to exit. You just need to have an adult
Eso está
sim
muy
with
chachi.
hand skill and some upgrade parts, and you can add all these super cool parts to the treehouse.
Eso está muy
We added them
chachi.
through the magic of debug sheets.
Sí,
here.
sí, ha
But
dicho
they
que
are
tiene que hacer
built
ñiqui
like the
ñiqui,
treehouse,
hacer
right?
ñiqui
You're like,
ñiqui.
your Sims go and kind of like work on it.
En el árbol, vamos, corriendo.
And you can even, I like to, you can adjust the lights if I wanted on this one specifically.
Lo de las luces, que sí, que funciona como cualquier otra luz, le puedes cambiar el color de la luz, la intensidad, todo eso. Vale.
Yep, and it'll
Mira,
run
está
from
subiendo por el
the
tobogán la niña.
You can also place objects on the treehouse balcony. So as you saw earlier, you can drag
mira.
on the small telescope.
El telescopio también se puede poner objetos
Basically,
ahí
a whole
encima.
host of children's toys, activity tables, blarfy,
Objetos de
like the big
niños.
stuffed animals, doll houses, a science table, VR gaming mat can go up there. So like there's a bunch of different options that you can place up there, and children or anyone who can use those objects will be
Qué
able to
nice,
use them.
está muy
Is there a way to
chulo.
find those easily?
Yes,
Eso está
so
muy
when you're in
guay.
build by, you can search for the tag placeable on Treehouse, and that will pull up
Okay.
a bunch of
There you go.
different
A ver.
categories for each of those objects, so you can easily find things
Depending on
that
the
can be
category.
placed.
Una categoría como
on there.
Place.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, and I think that's really cool that
Place
you-
on
like,
Treehouse.
once you put it up there, you're saying it is usable, right?
¿Una maceta también?
So not just can you decorate
What?
your treehouse how you want to, you can actually then have, for example, Kara could look through the telescope while on the treehouse.
Yep.
Qué nice.
Very
Observar.
cool.
Exactly.
Y lo
It's
utilizan
like
como
you can
veis.
really customize the treehouse to how you want it to be.
Oye, está completito, ¿eh? Y
Yeah, I
luego
was gonna say, like,
están los acontecimientos
No, no,
sociales.
no,
A ver
no,
si
no,
enseñan
no.
algo de
Keep them
eso.
home. We gotta keep them home.
El baby shower,
I
la
think
fiesta de
I said this to
pijamas,
the
los sacos de
team as well,
dormir,
but I
que
feel
no los
like
han
the
enseñado
treehouse
tampoco.
is one of, if not the, like, coolest
Es que,
objects
no sé,
we've
no les va a dar
ever made in
tiempo.
this
Vamos a estar aquí
It is,
400 horas, Julia.
Very big. It is very beautiful. It is so customizable. It's got all these like little kind of fun interactions that
A
you
ver.
can do. I don't know if you mentioned you could set like the entry rules
Treehouse
as well.
Adventures.
So you can
Oh,
be
yeah.
like, no adults, it's just kids, right? Stuff
Jugar
like
como
that. We have the
Play
enclosure that you
Pretend.
mentioned with a
Imagino
bunch of
jugar
stuff
como
on
un
there. So
pirata, como una
it's just,
princesa o yo qué sé.
Yeah,
Me imagino, ¿no?
I
A ver.
really love this thing.
Another cool object we have for kids. Sure. Another cool object we have for kids is
Ah,
this
lo de la
bike.
bicicleta es para los
So,
niños.
actually can't travel around or ride it. Why is that?
Que primero para poder usarlas tienen que aprender a utilizar la
bike.
bicicleta.
It's so one of the things
Eso
that
está
I think,
chachi, ¿eh?
Oh, look, he just sabotaged his work rival.
stuffed an old Harvest Fest skeleton
A ver.
into Bella's office drawer.
Funny story that there's actually a skeleton in my old desk drawer at work.
Is this based on a?
A ver.
Okay.
Based on a true story.
Ay, mira, va como torpe ella.
Nice.
Le podía haber puesto los
putting
ruedines.
the best bits of ourselves.
Mírala,
into this
mírala.
game.
Aprendiendo.
So
Qué
for our
nice.
kids, right? Like our adults have bikes, and our adults can.
Ah, lo de los
ride
dientes
bikes
también. A ver,
already,
a ver si
because
enseñan
they're
algo de
grown up and they
cómo,
know how to do it.
cómo
But with our
funciona.
kids, we felt like it didn't necessarily feel realistic to be like our kids can just know how to ride a bike right off the bat, and so they actually need to learn how.
No van a destripar todo el juego. Hombre, claro que no. Pero digo que les quedan cosillas por enseñar y ya nos han enseñado bastantes, la verdad.
Then they can use it as a vehicle for traveling, much like our adults can.
Pues
then
poner
they
una
can
foto,
kind of ride around,
un nombre a
and
la
they
bici.
can, take it to different lots and stuff like that. But we also added some cool things.
Ahí está,
with,
aprendiendo a montar en
you
bici.
can get Kara there. Your bare head does not want to stay.
It's not.
We also, I think, to make it so that because
¿Le
kids
pueden
bikes are cool, kids
enseñar a
buy these
montar
things,
los
right? If you
adultos?
go to the store and you're like buying an adult
Supongo
version
que
of something
sí.
versus a kid's version of something. Kids' version of things are cooler. What's really cool about these kids bikes, I think we have
La bici
6
como mola, todo
new
guapa y
kids
con las
bikes
llamas.
with variants. And what's cool is that each of the kids' bikes
Mira, mira.
have like slightly different accessories. And so you can see this one has a horn. I think maybe this one has a light as well. If it was nighttime, we would see
Yeah.
it shining. But there's like a horn
La
and a light
animación
and
mola,
like a noisemaker that can change even the way that it sounds when you're riding it. And depending on which kid's bike you buy, it has like a different kind of configuration of those sort of upgrades or accessories on the bike.
Le sale ahí lo del
We also have
diente.
some adult bikes as well. Yep. So adults have some bikes in this pack they can ride too.
Can ride together. I think adults can help our kids like learn
Con
how to
su-
ride a
con
bike.
su
right?
casquito.
And that can be
Qué cute.
a milestone as well.
While you're trying to learn your bike, you can sometimes hit your head and make your tooth fall out.
Oh, right, loose teeth.
You can actually
Does
see.
she have a loose tooth right now?
Loose
She does.
tooth.
I cheated it right
That's why it
now,
has
so
that
that's
zero
why it
edge.
has
Yeah,
that because I
yeah.
cheated it
Yeah.
on. But
A ver,
okay, yeah,
Ron's doing
A ver lo del
Ron's going
diente.
for it.
yeah, he's just sabotaging. I set him to sabotage work rival at work. He could also befriend
sabotear
them.
al work
So,
rival.
I mean, anyways.
Hacerse amigo
yeah, so she has
del
a loose
rival.
tooth, so
Eso
we
está
can
guay,
wiggle
lo
it.
del rival de
But,
los curros.
let's go ahead and just pull it out.
A ver el diente.
Hardcore. All right.
Se lo ha arrancado.
All right. So now your tooth is out.
Yeah, and
Cara, it no longer has a loose
sea,
tooth,
sí.
but now has like a missing tooth.
Se ha
it's part of
sacado
the
el
smile here,
diente.
we
A
can
ver.
see it.
He is.
Open your
Cara ha
mouth.
perdido un diente.
Where are you going?
You'll never see it.
I'll
Does it
never
open
see
her
it.
mouth?
Well, she has a tooth gap.
Se
Where-
supone
where
que-
she lost her tooth, it's there.
Tiene que aparecer con el diente mellao, ¿no? A ver.
But you have a loose tooth now, and you can take.
Cara,
that
hija,
tooth
sonríe un
and you
poquito que te
can,
veamos.
If you were to click on like her bed, for example, or,
Ah, lo de la cama.
you now can place the tooth under the pillow.
Poner él
Um,
debajo de la almohada,
and,
creo que
when
ponía.
She wakes up, she'll be able to.
A ver. Vale, se va a dormir, duerme.
You'll find an
Y ahí
extra place.
llega el hada de los dientes. Literal como la vida real.
She wakes up, then you'll get kind of a nice little moment of.
Hostia, 84 le ha dado el hada de los dientes. Ratoncito Pérez aquí de toda la
A
vida.
milestone. She got
¿Qué es eso?
some new reward objects,
Certificado del hada de los
Money as well.
dientes.
some money as well.
Right.
Oh,
yeah, and
qué
this is like what we're talking
chulo.
about milestones, right? Like you get a cute little kind of like.
Mira, puede poner ahí.
For your
El
birthday.
certificado del hada de los dientes. Sí, sí, sí.
I know a good place we could potentially put that tooth certificate.
Vale.
Maybe we check out these.
Oh, these little boxes.
These little boxes. We have 3 of them. Kind of an ornate one. We have kind of a
¿Eso qué es?
cheapskate.
Chipsket, keepsake
I don't
box.
know
¿Eso
who
qué
made
es?
that. Workplace rival.
¿Cajitas?
Cheapskate. Keepsake.
¿Qué profesión
box,
el
yes.
hada
And
con
a basic
certificado y
one.
todo? Es
Yes.
verdad.
This is an elder sim, so she's able to designate this keepsake
Yeah.
box as their family
Es como una
keepsake box.
cajita de
These keepsake
recuerdos, ¿puede
boxes
ser?
Are one of my favorite things in this pack because they're small. There's not, they're not super complicated. but
Como cajitas de
when I talk
recuerdos.
about our
Y lo de al lado
milestones,
parece una
about
pulsera de la
these
amistad.
milestones, one of the things that I really love about this pack when I've been playing with it is that you really get to
A
inject
ver.
this sense of history with this pack that we haven't had an opportunity.
Sí,
to
es
do
una
before.
cajita como
And our
de
keepsake boxes,
recuerdos.
I think are a great example of that, which is as an elder.
Qué
you can
bonito
designate that
eso.
this keepsake box and you can rename it, right?
Para guardar,
It's
por
sort of
ejemplo, tus
the
recuerdos de la
family,
niñez, ¿no? Y tenerlos ahí
keepsake box is the memento
en una
that you
cajita.
want to pass on. And then one of the really cool things that you can do is you can then, if you are close enough
Qué bonito.
with somebody
Hala.
else in your family, is
Ponder
you
the
can
meaning
then,
of family. Significado de la
pass that
familia. A ver, a
on
ver.
to that family
Se
member.
puede regalar, sí.
And through that, you can have this sense of an object that has meaning for the family and is able to be.
Qué bonito eso, ¿no?
Is able to kind of like keep that meaning through generations.
Muy
right?
Rabasín.
And you
Si
can
es
see that it's
verdad,
also
eso
like a
sería
little kind
un
of
mod
storage box.
muy de
You
Rabasín,
can
es
put
verdad.
cool things into it. You can put things that have meaning, maybe milestones things, or maybe just like something that you think has meaning for the family. And
Qué
be able
bonito
to
eso,
put that in
Y
it.
cuando
And then
muera
the other
puedes darle los
interaction that's
recuerdos a
on
otros y
under
eso
the
estaría
meaning of
chulo. Sí,
family,
Yoli.
is a fun little kind of
Eso me gusta,
interaction that lets you
Fotos de
connect with family
generaciones,
members.
recuerdos,
So
el
it lets
caballito
you,
de madera que
use
le
the
regaló el
power
padre
of kind of the legacy of
de
your
Sara.
family
Todo ese
to
tipo de
change the
cositas
dynamic
ahí
that might be
guardadas.
set
Eso me
might
gusta.
not like right now.
You might also be seeing in our inventory, she has a friendship
Friendship
bracelet
bracelet,
that
sí.
was made
Esa es
by
la
her.
pulsera de la amistad.
And Kara actually also has one.
Oh, okay.
This is a new object called the Friendship Bracelet Kit. And you can click on that to make friendship
La puedes
bracelets.
hacer
We
en una
have
cajita.
some different ones that are all really cute. You can make. And we also updated it so
Madre
you can,
de
like, make
Dios.
your knitting to do it
Activity
here,
table,
or you
yeah.
can do it on activity table,
Oh,
or
and like the
En una-
knitting
en una-
basket,
en una-
or in this,
I think
yeah.
En una mesa de actividad
well,
o en la
because
cajita
the
esa.
cross stitch.
Yeah.
Detallitos,
And
mijos,
so,
detallitos.
those are also objects you can do that, but we have to have a friend.
Right.
So
if you each have made a friendship bracelet, you can
Vale.
then exchange them.
Or if
Intercambiar
it's just in another household, they don't have
la pulserita con
necessarily
la
have one,
Mama
but
Lambert
because they
Jackson.
both live in the same
Imagino que
household,
tendrás
we
que
need
ser
them.
mejores amigos
so Mama and Cara
o...
can exchange friendship bracelets here.
algo
Yeah, they
similar,
are.
¿no?
So,
A ver.
so Kara's gonna come here and exchange it. Slow this down. She says, "Hey, you wanna exchange friendship bracelets?
Really?
You wanna give me a friendship bracelet?"
Toma.
Look at
Oh.
that. Super cute. So they've exchanged
Super
friendship bracelets.
cute.
And you
They
can see
now
it on their
have-
hands now.
Oh yeah, you can see it on
And
their
you can see
wrists, and they have
hers
each
was made
other,
by
right?
Kara,
Vale.
And
Ha
hers was
intercambiado.
made by Mom.
Uno le da la
Nice.
suya y la
So
otra
they
le da la
both have it
otra.
on their
Qué bonito
hands.
eso.
and they'll eventually get worn out and fall
Muy
off.
bonito, muy
But
bonito,
for
muy
now
bonito.
they have
They
them.
have a special friendship bond. I think we
Mhm.
added another really cool kind of like interaction that you can do while you're wearing
ver.
each other's friendship bracelets.
Mhm. I think
Opciones.
it's under affection,
Yeah,
bracelet, buddy.
fist bump.
If you do this, Kara has another friend, and if she were to do this
Oh,
in front of
pueden hacer-
Gonzalo might get kind of jealous.
Oh, right. Because he's
Gonzalo.
like, why didn't I get a friendship bracelet? Why are you doing this bracelet buddy fist bump with somebody else?
You know, like, I thought I was your friend.
Right.
So we were pretty close.
Las usan, las usan.
Yeah.
Las tienen
Because you
puestas,
can
¿las
only
has
exchange
visto?
friendship bracelets with
Mírala.
just one sim, right?
Ahí,
Yes.
está ahí la pulserita puesta.
You can also demand your
No es
friendship
solamente
bracelet.
un
I would-
estén
that's
alimentario,
malicious.
se ven.
It
I don't know
happened
if
to
I
me
would.
in school when I was a child.
Uh-huh.
O le puede devolver
You were
el
saying
brazalete.
that
En plan, ¿me lo
you-
devuelves o qué?
You exchange
Se acabó
friendship
nuestra
bracelets with
amistad
somebody.
aquí. Eso
And
está
then they
guay,
demand-
¿eh?
Look, oh my. I cannot
pobre
believe
niña.
you did that with Cara.
No, she's gonna have this memory with her grandma forever.
So
sad.
En plan, devuélveme eso.
Would you give
Herida.
a hurt sentiment?
But yes, this happened to me, and I'm still
Okay,
hurt.
yeah.
So
And then you
she's probably last with her forever.
Yeah.
She's
Me meo,
probably
eh.
forever remember.
Pobre abuela.
Cara grows
La
up to be a
niña
game
más
developer
mala no
and is
puede
doing
ser.
a stream
La cerda.
to be like, remember that time that my grandmother demanded the friendship?
And then I
Madre
went to
mía.
work, and they made me take the feature that had a friendship bracelet that made me remember that really sad moment in my childhood, and I
Yeah.
worked on it.
So really, I understand it's a really personal connection there. I think friendship bracelets are cool. I think you can tell some cool stories there, as you can see, and then some really cool touches in terms of being able to wear them.
Some other things to show off. We've got this play mat that they
A
can
vivir
play
al árbol.
on.
En esta casa ya no
Over
vives.
here we have a
Mira, van a enseñarnos cómo
diaper
funciona
changing
el
table.
cambiador.
Let's see if we can have her just use her diaper really quick.
Used their diaper recently, right?
Yeah. And if she uses her diaper, then we can actually change her diaper. And this also works for toddlers who have changed their diaper as well.
Mhm.
But not for Delaney, because Delaney's potty trained.
Okay.
I mean, she is, if she
A ver,
uses
a
her
ver.
diaper, she
Sure.
can still do it.
Yeah.
But she's not
But she
good
wouldn't
because
use
she's
her
a
diaper.
big
Yeah,
girl
she's-
now.
Yeah. These changes
Por fin
are really cool.
cambiadores.
The thing that I really like is that you see there's a little.
¡Ay, que se ha meado! ¡La
you see there's
niña!
a little kind of like diaper
Se ha meado.
trash can. You got the pee on caregiver milestone. Nice.
Se ha meado en la abuela. Me
A
meo.
little bit sillier. Is that the diaper pail trash can is kind of like right next to it, is attached to it. What happens is
Con
if
su
you have
papelera
that
y todo,
attached to
¿eh?
your changing table, is the diaper automatically gets put in there. So you don't have to worry about diaper trash. If you don't, then the diaper shows up on the floor. You have to clean it up eventually. Or
Dice que tienes que limpiar los pañales y todo.
But that's, I think, a cool little touch with our
Qué
changing
nice.
tables.
Another thing, let's just see if we can teleport her there.
A ver lo de las fuentecitas.
Let me cheat.
I don't know if she was being carried.
Oh,
she's in the high chair.
Let's have her let her out really quick.
¿Letao? A ver.
But you were
I
saying-
mentioned we
Coge
would
a la
show
niña
off what
y
you
la
can
va a
do
dejar
here
ahí
with
en el
these
parque este.
baby-proofing things, but so this is baby-proofed, and you can see she can try to break
Brick
loose
loose.
now.
¿Cómo? ¿Lo
So
puede romper
that's
la
like a
niña?
fun way to play with wild toddlers.
Right.
Who may
Like,
succeed
even
or
if
may
you
not
baby-proof
succeed.
something,
Se
right,
pueden
there's a chance
escapar.
they have a-
Pueden romper el
Yeah.
la cerradura,
That's
digamos,
pretty
¿no?
fun. She did not succeed.
¡Hala!
She
Se ha
did.
escapado.
Oh, she can't be contained.
Can't be
That's
contained.
cool. That's a cool kind of.
No
like
me pueden
little,
contener.
baby-proofing gate thing.
So let's go ahead and we also have some other cool objects around here. We have this celebration cannon.
We have too much stuff.
¿Y el cañón ese qué? ¿Para hacer el cañón humano o qué?
Yeah, we have 3 new events. I don't know if we have time to actually do them in the stream, but we have 3 new events, which are a baby shower.
Baby shower.
That is something that we wanted to make available kind of
nuevo evento, baby shower, okay.
Baby stories. So you don't need a pregnant sim to have a baby shower, right? Maybe
qué guay, eso está nice.
Story, or something like that. We have a new family reunion.
Yeah, if we wouldn't be able to remove ourselves from the screen for a moment, I kind of surprised and did this out of order. I'm sorry.
A family reunion event and a slumber party.
Una reunión familiar, de amistad, de no sé qué. Slumber party es la fiesta de pijamas.
I was going to say shows off.
Reunión familiar.
Useful to use with our new sleeping bags.
Ya van 3.
Probably wanted to look at some other places.
Esas 3 nuevas, supongo que hay. Sí. Esas 3 nuevas hay.
But they're all really cool events that kind of are again helping you tell the story of.
El cañón será para revelar el sexo del bebé. Ay, pues puede ser, qué guay.
Wanting to throw a little party of their own and have a sleepover. That slumber party can be held in the home, can be held in certain venues as well to have like the lock-in effect of like we're in the, we're out and like having a sleepover somewhere else. And a family reunion that is sort of gathering, makes a thematic sense of gathering the family together. But that canon is, I think, useful at any event that
son tantas cosas.
Potentially is.
Llevamos 2 horas y casi 10 minutos con
And you might have noticed that I could also add these events and throw them while we have
literal,
staying over.
Estoy en el mood premamá, dice Tali. Hombre, y literalmente. Y literal que estás.
So you could be like, hey, Mom and Dad, come
Qué nice, me encanta.
While they're over, you could throw a family reunion.
Yeah, totally.
As a reward for the family reunions, you also get these really awesome
Mira
picture frames
las
that I filled
foticos.
in with pictures of our family from around various places.
Oh, these are so cool.
Imagino que serán marcos.
These are one object, right? But they're like collage frames, so each of the little frames can contain a
y puedes poner, no sé.
that you put in there. And I feel
sí, son fotos que tú haces y luego pones ahí. Esto para las décadas, mijos.
Oh, qué
guay.
And so, yeah, these are awesome. But these, like you said, these are rewards.
Con lo que me gusta a mí esto.
So it's kind of late at night. Let's go ahead and have
travel. Igual nos van a enseñar más mundo. A ver.
Together for like a late night date.
Madre mía.
To the anchor point.
Cuántas cosas. Yo la veo completita, mijos, la verdad. Y sobre todo el cuidadillo ese en los detallitos que han ido poniendo, a mí eso también me gusta mucho. Los marcos son recompensas de los eventos de los 3, sí, ha dicho. Pero los puedes tener en el modo comprar, los puedes comprar. Con el truco.
Not the fire, just Kyle. But anyway, so here's Anchor Point Wharf, and we were kind of thinking about this as feeling a little bit closer to that city vibe.
Qué bonito esta zona, ¿no?
So a lot of the buildings here kind of look like they've been reclaimed. When I pointed out Bayani Robles before in the prior neighborhood, he's one of those founding fathers. We thought of him as somebody who is kind of creating
esas casas qué chulas.
Area and canning, and it kind of built up from there. The Robles family is still present. We'll see them in another neighborhood, but their family house is the main one is down here. My favorite thing about this is I wanted this to feel
este solar es grande, será un 50 por 40 o por ahí,
kept expanding out. I felt like that was really emblematic of this pack.
Qué bonita la casa, parece.
Grows and grows, and you're trying to figure out what to do there. So that's their lot. And then let's see, what else do we have here? We have a nice little square area where there's a piano that you can come out and play. There is a food stand that you can visit. Yeah, I love this food stand so much. So you can stop by, get a little bit
taquitos.
Get some samosa.
Qué ricos.
And go from there. And
vale, comidita.
I think the main thing, aside from the library, which I also
parque, un piano ahí solo.
We have a little area
típico piano callejero para tocar.
Playing piano.
It's one of our pre-made, one of our Robles family.
Street pianist, pianista callejero.
I play piano, so this is huge for me. But yeah, let's take a look then at this date night area, the movie theater. This is one of my favorite things.
El cine.
We kind of just kicked around an idea of, well, you should be able to see a movie here, and that blossomed
es
into
funcional,
this
es madriguera.
Being able to see a variety of genres together or by yourself.
Pero pueden ir a ver películas. Y hay películas nuevas, me parece.
You can see different genres reflected on the outside and with the sound as well. And when you go
Muy
into the
Sims 3.
theater, while you're not able to see it yourself, things do happen in
Es
there.
muy Sims 3,
There may
sí,
be
sí,
some
sí.
riveting events that take place when
Oye,
you're
es
there.
nice, me gusta, me
Sorry, I'm
gusta.
so bad at puns. I'll stop.
Como los
That's
Sims
the
3,
only one I
literal, los
swear
Sims 3
at.
había un cine
But
así.
yeah,
Literalmente,
just,
sí.
You know, chance to kind of get a movie and see how you feel about it.
Pues ver películas, pasa el
And you saw that there are
tiempo.
different genres of movies. I also I know that like depending on your Sims
Me ha parecido
personality,
ver
there are
nuevas,
different
¿no?
chances that
Ok.
they may
Hay
like or
muchas.
dislike certain genres,
Like
right?
a sim that doesn't like children isn't going to like this child family
Sure.
movie. But like a sim who likes romance is probably going to be pretty down for
Pax
Pax
and Perjuicio. Ah,
They adapted it. That was a book, right? Yeah.
Yes.
The Romantic Movie, pone ahí. Está
I-
guay.
it always
En una
makes me think
cita,
of the
ir al
Sims
cine con
movie
tu
theater,
cita.
which is really nostalgic
Luego
for me,
ir a,
so
yo qué sé, por ahí. Eso está
that's
muy
nice.
guay.
I think. And I love the way this lights up at night.
Ya, ya salen
They
del
did an
cine.
amazing job with that. You can also see the fog rolling off the bay at night, which I think is really cool.
Ah, no, no,
and
siguen
also
dentro.
amazing. And the
Han
way this,
salido
like,
otros
bridge
Sims, a
lights
ver.
up and you
Yeah.
can see all the cars on it.
Ya ha salido. Ah, sí,
Alright,
tiene
so
move.
check out this movie.
So she liked it.
Suens, ay, qué
I think it
chulo.
looks like he liked it
Oh,
too.
what a successful date
Se han
night.
puesto
look
coquetitos
at
después de la
that.
peli. Oh, oh, oh.
And they say romance is dead.
It's not.
Esa
All
me
you gotta
gusta.
do, you just gotta
Me
go watch
gusta.
an adaptation of a Jane Austen
Va, este sitio
starring werewolves.
Oh,
Es
and
como
then
una
to show off
guardería.
this library too, because we have a lot of new assets here that are really great for children libraries. Like these bookshelves, which are interlockable. This is like an end to this bookshelf, so you could build it like that. Upstairs we have more of these
Es como una
bookshelves
especie de
and, like,
centro
different
cultural.
layouts and,
Parece.
yeah, Deli did a great job building this library here. That's like a really cool family-friendly one.
Yeah.
You can see
Qué chulas las estanterías nuevas,
new
¿eh?
changing table here. It's like a public changing table.
Oh yeah, the ones that
¿Eso
kind
qué
of
es?
pull down from the side, from the wall.
That's
¿Qué es
super
eso?
cool.
Yeah.
And like a little nursing room here for the infants.
Lo de la pared, ¿es un cambiador de
I
pared?
think- and this awesome little play area. I just think it's a great library. Okay, so let's go ahead and travel to the other neighborhood as well.
Qué
One more
interesante.
neighborhood, right? And this one contains, I think,
Es un
the
cambiador de
new,
pared, sí, sí. Eso era como una especie de centro cultural, ¿no?
Everybody.
O guardería de niños, algo así.
I can't forget. Okay.
O un tipo de
Like, we'll just bring our
biblioteca.
family.
Interesante.
contains
Interesante,
our
interesante.
new, venue.
Do you want to tell us
Annie!
about this neighborhood
10
as well, Rach?
mesecitos.
Yeah.
Toma
I'd
ya,
be
muchas
happy to.
gracias.
We'll talk about the venue in a second, but once we load in, I
Thank
just
you,
want
thank
to
you.
talk in general about Gilbert Gardens, which is, I mentioned before, we talked about Old Stumpy and mentioned that was
Vale.
the last remnant
Otro
of
mundo.
West
Bueno, el otro mundo.
Our
El,
friend Gilbert
el tercer
Gilberts,
barrio.
is responsible for
Okay.
the deforestation of San Sequoia. This park area, I was kind of thinking about it as his estate that he so graciously gifted to everyone after he passed away. So you can kind of see his old
Eso
house
parece como
here.
un paseo,
There's a
¿eh?
nice little lake here where you can
Ese
fish
puente es el
and,
que salía en el
swim
tráiler.
and do
Ah,
more.
pueden
You can walk
nadar.
around it. You might want to keep your eyes peeled for
Se pueden
white
bañar
capped
ahí.
crocodile. I don't know, he might not be out right now, but you know,
You see some
be
bubbles?
wary. Be
No.
wary.
Oh, maybe
There-
maybe
maybe.
there.
We'll just see
yeah.
the bubbles now, but
Okay.
you know, yeah, never know.
¿Qué es
So
eso?
yeah, again, there's a little space where you can do some group walking, and let's see over here by that's the rec center. We'll go back to it in a sec. The splash pad.
Oh,
so
man.
this.
Oh,
is,
mira,
okay,
el
this is one of my
típico
favorite things in the
parque
world. We have to zoom in on
de-
my buddy
de agua, este
Wilbert
chulo.
over there. Yeah, Wilbert.
Yeah, fast forward so maybe it can be morning by the time.
Me encanta, me
I'm
encanta.
sorry, the timing wasn't great.
Oh, that's
That's
all
all
right.
right.
You know,
Wilbert
that's-
looks good in
La
any light.
ballena,
He
qué chula.
does. He's the star of this pack.
But we wanted to kind of create
Dijo
this
que
sort of
habían
family
cocodrilos en el
friendly
lago.
just
Oh my
little
god.
splash pads
¿Y
that
te
kind of
bañas ahí
turn
con los
into a deep
cocodriles?
splash pad, honestly, where you can
Julia,
play in the
Julia,
water,
Julia.
watch it, obviously stop
Te quedas
playtime.
sin
Might be a
pie.
great place
Así
to
de
bring
repente,
your
de
dog,
un
I think.
predator de esos y te
Just
come el
up for that.
pie.
Even an infant if you're holding it.
Yes, even an infant if you're holding it.
Playing water, jugar en el
We didn't-
agua, eso
we
mola un
didn't get a
montón.
chance to at our home lot because there was just so much to look at. This is obviously
Eso mola,
for
eh.
this neighborhood, sort of like bespoke. Our environment team put this together.
Nueva
It
muerte.
looks incredible.
No lo sé.
But what's really cool is I think
No lo han
almost
dicho,
all of
lo han
these
dejado
pieces
así
that
como
you see here
misterio.
are available
Tampoco
in
van a
catalog,
desvelar
and
todo el pack
you
entero,
at
¿no?
home or
Digo
on
yo.
another venue can set it up kind of how you want.
Por
Like, you
ejemplo,
can
nos
do
han
some, like,
enseñado el
taller
ñiqui ñiqui
ones.
en la casa
Different
de la
mats that are
cabaña, pero han
different
dicho que se puede
different
hacer.
colors
Yeah.
and-
En fin.
Yeah, and you can like design your own for your own lots. It's really cool.
Yeah, so this is not just like this isn't the only splash pad, right? Like you can create one at home, but you can also you have the ability to customize based on all these pieces.
Ay,
Which I think is also
que
really
están
good.
trayendo a los niños para que
Yeah,
jueguen.
it's a little bit of extra fun if you like that sort of thing, and I hope you do. So yeah, let's move away from that splash
No.
pad, and I want to go to the rec center now. I want to talk about rec
Oh,
center.
yeah.
yeah.
Let's go look at that.
La niña está triste,
Yeah.
¿qué le
This
pasa?
one was built by Lil Simpsy.
Yeah, and so what I wanted to go for here was, I come from a smaller town where
¿Y esta
we
zona
have
qué
a
es?
central place to do everything, and that's what I was hoping for. So you could come
Ah,
here
este va a ser
to
el centro
make art,
cultural ese que
some
vimos
instruments.
en el
You can
tráiler.
come here to work out if you want, just hang out.
El que
It's
pueden
great
venir
to book for an event if you wanted
los
to. I know
ancianos
Scott
y todo
already
eso,
talked
¿no?
A little bit about some of the events that we can have here. If you wanted to book a lock-in, this is your spot for it.
Ahora mira,
And, yeah,
como
there
para
are
hacer
the
conciertos,
instruments,
¿no?
and of course the
O
clown
tocar o
freak,
aprender
which is
música.
Super important for me to add. I may be a bit of a clown freak, but we won't talk about that today.
Es un poco un
So what
centro
I
de
really
todo,
wanted
porque
to
hay
do-
Another clown screen
gimnasio,
for that.
Yeah,
hay zona de
save that
lectura,
for
de
another day.
música,
Those game tables,
guardería,
though. So one of my
cocina.
favorite things we added this
Oh, yeah,
pack
yeah.
are symbols and puzzles. I really wanted to create an area
Eso va a
especially
ser
for
para
elders to
jugar,
come
sí,
to
míralo,
and socialize, hang out, and just
para
do
jugar
whatever
al
you want. So obviously
dominó,
this chessboard, but this is
a
mainly for me about
hacer
the symbols and the
puzzles.
puzzles. If you wanted to show that
Wait,
off.
did you say puzzles?
Oh, did I jump the gun?
Ah, qué
Yes,
guay.
puzzles.
So they're playing symbols right here, but they can
Ese es el
also
dominó de
change
toda la
the
vida.
game to cards, and I think there's some others if you have other packs.
Un centro
But,
cultural, sí.
also
Esto sí podría ser
puzzles,
así.
which is my favorite to do here. So let's have her. She changed the game to puzzles, and we can actually
Make a
choose a
puzzle.
puzzle.
Okay.
There are a lot of them.
¿Cómo?
Like a lot of puzzles.
Categories, different
Puedes hacer un
sizes,
puzzle
but I
de
saw
50,
an option
100,
here,
200
custom
piezas,
puzzle from reference.
Yes,
500.
this is delightful. So we'll do that.
Y por
So this
referencia.
allows you to
Ah,
Take
foto.
a-
Puedes hacer un puzzle de una foto que me
Take a
estás
picture.
container, Julia.
like our kind of paint by reference, right?
Mhm.
And then that becomes a puzzle that your sim works on. And then when you finish it, it'll look like that picture that you
Tener
took.
un puzzle de una foto. Eso está
So-
guay, ¿eh?
Oh, she stopped doing that. Oh, she's gonna keep doing it.
Eso está
And we're gonna have
nice.
her while she's doing this.
Trabajar el
there's a
puzzle.
mischief interaction
Okay.
where
Puedes
her
ayudar a hacer el
will-
puzzle.
Oh, Kara's gonna come over.
Yeah.
and
¿Robar?
take one.
¿Cómo? ¿Qué ponía?
She's a
¿Steel
little bit
qué?
mischievous here.
¿Robar
So
una
she's
pieza?
going to come and steal a
La
puzzle
niña es
piece
un diablo, ¿eh?
while they're working on it.
Oh, okay.
Swipe it.
La niña es un
saw.
diablo.
Got a piece now.
Yeah. And they're gonna keep working on this. Something I love about the rec center is while I feel like I'm here,
Qué
I
chulo.
regularly have kids and come by
Mhm.
and
It's
like
a nice kids area.
it's
Yeah.
a nice place
It
to
really
meet
is.
others.
Espero que se puedan marcar el
for
puzzle,
families for all ages. Like, there's a lot of stuff
No solo
to
tenerle ahí
kinda
puesto.
hang out and do here.
A
I'm
ver.
gonna
Yeah,
fast
it's
forward
just-
because I want to see it made.
Okay, yeah.
Tiene toda la pinta, la verdad.
Yeah, I wanted it to be really just for all ages appropriate, and I think.
Ay, el niño se ha caído ahí gateando.
Building
¿Habéis
this
visto?
one, and I hope that there's a lot
El
that
bebé.
everyone else could do when they're making their own if they wish to, but yeah, just something for everyone. While they're building, I forgot to mention
Qué
something.
chulo,
kind of
mira cómo van
important. It actually
construyendo
popped up
el
earlier with Kyle
puzzle.
Carlson, but I wanted to highlight that I mentioned Laura a couple
A ver la
times,
niña
and I
diablo
was
dónde va.
talking, if you're
A
somebody
liar la
who's
parda.
into
Ah, no,
lore, I
está
am.
ayudando.
You can run the Share Sequoia Secrets interaction on some of our pre-mades if you want to learn a little bit more about them. There's some stuff that I put in. I had hinted before about the Michelsons with the name. If you're a little bit
Lo van a
curious about
acabar, a
what's
ver.
going on there, you can kind of run that to find out more about Celeste's history in particular.
Se ha reseteado la
It's really important
vieja.
to me personally, and also just for everybody else if you want to learn details about the Sims themselves.
Lo han acabado. Ah, pero como ha robado una pieza, pues no
They're
la
done
pueden
here, but
poner.
It looks like
There's a piece
because
that
she
was
stole the
stolen.
piece, there's a piece missing.
Falta
You can
la
still,
pieza
like,
que ha
frame it,
robado.
And you can be like, we're done, right? Like, put it up, I guess. But she still has the piece.
A ver, hemos visto un par de reseteos
And she got
de-
stole the finish.
Okay, so she
de
put it
sim
back.
o de,
It's a
can
full
also
puzzle
de
do
animación,
now.
pero ningún bug así
And
gordo
you
de
can see that
momento,
there's
¿eh?
that lovely puzzle from reference
Vale, sí,
that
lo van a
you
poder
can-
enmarcar. Mira qué
You can put it
chulo.
on the wall. You can put it in
Qué
your
guay.
keepsake
Yeah,
box.
very
for your
cool.
family.
Very cool.
Me encanta.
Do we want to? I don't know that there's.
Me encanta, me
too much
encanta.
more-
I did
that we
want to
wanna-
show off the walking paths.
Yes. Okay. Let's send them for a walk.
So
real
I'm
quick.
gonna teleport them
A
over
ver.
here just to get them here quickly.
A ver esas señales, ¿qué serán?
Maybe stop what you're doing.
A ver, que
So
están
this is something that's
teletransportando
really
a los
fun and
Sims.
for elders. Around
Teleport,
this neighborhood,
teleport.
there are 3
A ver.
different walking paths. You can see them on their signs here. But you can choose to
Ajá, eso funciona parecido a como una escapada en la nieve. Para hacer footing, paseos.
Okay, so we're gonna do this right now, but there are 3 different of these paths around this neighborhood you can find with different length of trails.
I think our car ran off to do
Ahí
something.
ya.
You might need to wait for her to come back. Maybe
Ay,
she's
qué bonito
walking
esa,
already. But
esa zona.
Yeah, there's one around the
Go walking.
lake, right? Which is kind
Venga,
of the
hija,
biggest one.
que te está esperando la
There's
vieja
one
ahí, que se ha
around
puesto
the
su
pond,
chándal.
which
Mira
is
el
the
chándal, es
smallest
el
one,
nuevo,
and
¿no?
then
El chándal. A ver, a ver.
I think Grandma started without her. She's
Yeah.
like, I'm done waiting. But they'll go for these power walks, and you can do this as a group. I would suggest, well, not while they're leaving the neighborhood already, but they'll kind of stop along
Ay, que se ha
the
parado a
way
beber agua.
and
meo.
and drink or stretch, and then also I wanted to show out that like while she was
El
doing
andar de
this,
Rajoy es que es igual. Es que es igual. Mira Rajoy.
they react to the neighborhood with like some of these certain things. So like here they've got the fun topiary, so they'll get a buff for that.
Qué bonito
so,
esta
there's
zona,
special
me
points
gusta.
around each of these neighborhoods where if you're near them, I think there's one near like Old Stumpy potentially.
Me gusta, me
where you'll get a
gusta.
sense of just,
Fisherman
like,
statue.
La animación está muy guay.
kind of the points that might put
Es
your
chachi.
sim in a certain mood, but also just like give them a little bit of sense of location.
Yeah, like a way that they're reacting. Another thing I think would be neat to mention.
A ver.
Let's see if I can leave real quick. Okay, and then bring him here. Is we didn't really show this, but they have made a self-discovery.
Oh, right. Yeah, this is one of those things where it's like it's a little bit random. And
Vale,
it's
pueden
not quite
descubrir
random, but there's
otro
something
rasgo
on in the
más,
background, and we just didn't get a pop-up.
I was hoping
Aparte
they
de lo
would
que
get a
tú le
pop-up during the
pongas,
stream.
ellos por sí
But
solos pueden
self-discovery is really
desbloquear
cool.
más
You might
rasgos.
maybe you noticed where you look at Ron and his traits, and you might
Mira
be
esos
like,
sofás.
wait a second.
That's a lot of
Does
traits.
he have this is soul music is I love it. He's got an extra trait, doesn't he?
Está escuchando
And that's
música, pero
because
nosotros
with our
no.
new self-discovery system, and again, I wish that it had just kind of popped up so we could show it.
Igual los tres
Again,
puntitos es eso,
simulation.
no lo sé porque no lo han enseñado,
You have moments depending on how you're playing your sim.
Esos
and
tres
what they're
puntitos
doing,
que digo.
That behind the scenes we're sort of tracking that, and there are moments when it can pop up and say the game that how you've been playing Ron, for example, and says what did he discover here? This was
He got ambitious.
So it
and
may
I
have been when
think
he
it
got
was for
promoted or
promotion,
something? Okay.
And then actually,
And so, like here, Ron might have gotten promoted, and at that point, the game would be like, "Oh, it seems like Ron was
Perfeccionista.
promoted, or Myra got
Sí.
perfectionist
perfection,
from."
I think she had got a skill to 10.
Okay, so when she got a skill to 10, there are moments where the game reacts to that, and it's like, "Hey, it seems like your sim did this thing. Does that mean maybe they're this trait?" And it gives you a pop-up that allows you to accept it.
La cena
or
se va a
not.
enfriar,
And
dice
you're like,
Lili.
"No, no,
Ya,
I'm not
ya,
playing
es que
them that
tela.
way." But it also is another way that growing together allows your sims to sort of evolve, and the game gives you these great opportunities to say, hey, it seems like you're playing your sims this way. Maybe you want to add this family dynamic. Maybe you want to add this new trait. Maybe you want to add this like or dislike.
¿Han dicho si hay algo de algún
based
nuevo
on
trabajo?
what's
No,
happening right
no
now.
hay nuevos trabajos.
And I think this is really cool because it just adds this
En los trabajos han añadido el enemigo o el rival del curro para poder ascender.
And you end up cleaning up a lot. The game might be like,
Sí,
you're
sí.
not really playing this sim like a slob. Do you want them to be neat instead? I'll get rid of slob for you and I'll put in neat instead. And I think that's really cool, again, in terms of like growing together, allowing your sims to grow
Brujo, y un
and evolve
besote.
in a way that we haven't really done before.
Es que hay muchas cosas. Es que ha sido un pack. Lo que nos están enseñando, y imagino que no habrá enseñado todo, pero muchas cosas, muchos detalles.
Just playing the game and seeing how things
Y
go
sobre
with it.
todo esa manera en la que va a cambiar un
I've
poco
really
cómo
enjoyed this
relacionarnos,
and,
como
like,
tal con la
finding different
familia.
ways
Eso
to
está guay.
unlock them. I think so. That seems like a pretty good overview of our pack. Of growing
2 horas y
together.
media y siguen,
Oh, there's so much in this pack. I am so excited for people to get their
Madre
hands
mía.
on it and start playing with it.
Lo de las
I
maletas
think,
explicaron cómo va a ser, sí.
Deepens your relationships, it makes your family matter more, it gets drama in your game.
Mírala cómo me gusta, está mirando el móvil.
I think it's hard to go back to playing without
Ella
this
siga lo
pack
suyo.
once you've played with
Mírala.
this pack. It's
Mama.
gonna release worldwide March.
La animación es
16th.
maravillosa,
You can get it on, EA
Se
apps
para
on
y
PC,
sigue.
You can get it on Origin if you're on Mac. You can get it on Xbox, on PlayStation. We're everywhere now. I think it's on Steam. It's on Epic Games Store.
Ya van a acabar, sí, sí, sí.
You can message me and be like, send me a copy. And I won't. I'll tell you where to get it. But I can point
El
you to
chándal
the
es
right
nuevo.
places.
Mira qué
But,
chulo.
and then the infant update comes out 2 days
El típico
before,
chándal de
on March
señora que
14th.
se pondría
I think
tu
that's our
abuela,
exclusive
Julia.
day. For everyone. That's for everyone
encanta.
on all those same platforms as well.
Yeah. So thank you for joining us. This was,
Es que me
there's
encanta
even more than we got
la
through.
animación.
But
I think we did
Ay, qué
pretty
memeo,
well.
de verdad.
pretty good.
It has been.
El traguito de agua que no falte. Vamos.
Thank you for
mirar
for
el
being
Twitter.
the one, controlling all of our Sims
Un
today.
WhatsApp del grupo
Thank you
familiar.
all for being here. Thank you, Frost, for keeping us on time.
Hola.
Bye.
Bye.
Adiós, adiós. Bueno, pues hasta aquí. Thank you for watching el stream. Madre mía, cuántas cosas. Súper completo, la verdad, mijos. Hasta aquí también vamos a dejar el stream. Nosotros también. Solo voy a decir que increíble, muchísimas cosas. Ya os enseñaré yo todo, ¿vale? Voy a tener acceso anticipado al pack. Pronto, no os puedo decir de momento fechas, pero dentro de poco os diré, ¿vale? Muchas cositas que estoy deseando poder enseñaros. Gracias por estar aquí conmigo hoy en este stream. Ha sido maravilloso. Lo voy a resubir a YouTube. Creo que lo voy a hacer, como os digo, todo, porque cada vez están enseñando cosas nuevas, cada vez están diciendo cosas nuevas. Así que si queréis ver o rever alguna parte que no habéis visto, lo tenéis ahí. Nada más, muchísimas gracias por estar ahí, mijos. Nos vemos el lunes. Un besote muy grande. ¡Chao! Voy a poner musiquita, ¿vale? Esta. Para despedirnos. Ahí, mijitos. Gracias. Chao, chao, chao.